cocksuckers. It's all over. Listen, we had a rough couple of months. Fucking Katrina's cousin Maria, the other one, Puerto Rico, Houston, fucking Florida. Listen, it's been tough up to now. The earthquake in Mexico, the White House, whoever the fuck is going on, but it don't matter. They want to shoot, it's time for us to fucking shoot, cocksuckers. They want to get down and dirty, don't forget who the fuck we are, you understand me? We're the baddest motherfuckers out there. You send a message to that fucking North Korean, he's gonna be sniffing my dick and sucking my asshole. That's the focus. We're going to North Korea in like a year. It's gonna be an island. It's gonna glow in the dark. You know why? Because we're Americans, cocksuckers. Who the fuck do you think you're dealing with? Stop with the gun control. They're selling more guns than ever the last 3 days. Stop with the fucking whining. Stop with the Russians on Facebook. I don't give a fuck. Worry about yourself. Keep your eyes open and get the fuck off Snapchat and fucking Twitter, cocksucker. Stay black.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a special edition episode of Max's Man Cave. This is the SEIN-STREAM, and it's going to be a stream about nothing, essentially, and I have fantastic guests that are going to be joining me tonight. But I wanted to talk real quick because I got my new plates for my car in the mail today, and they didn't have my actual number. They had the Ass Man. So now I don't know if this is maybe a proctologist, potentially, or maybe it's just a man who fancies the rear end, who fancies the dump truck, right? And so this evening, I guess I'll just be the Ass Man. And joining me on tonight's stream about nothing, the SEIN-STREAM, if you will, is, after his lunch choice, after we had a meeting together, we gave him a nickname, and let's just call him T-Bone. T-Bone, what's going on, brother?
Hello, Ass Man.
Hello. Yeah, no, great to see you, man. I'm super glad that you can make it, and I'm also very, very happy to hear that you are a fan of such a fantastic show. And look, we are in the famous coffee shop, Monk's Coffee Shop. So the only other person that I know who's actually visited this location in person, the actual Monk's Coffee Shop, is the prestigious, the illustrious, the pipe-smoking, ascot-wearing Dr. Martin Van Nostrand. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you, Ass Man.
Thank you. Good evening. Yeah, it just so happens that you also happen to be a regular guest on the Max's Man Cave show and on our Friday evening shows, and also a huge fan of the Seinfeld himself. So, and lastly, this evening, we have a man that needs no introduction. We have one other, but he's running late. So this is the one and only Donald O'Brien. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you have a book that is out right now, correct? And I've read it. It's something.
Oh boy.
That lie he tried to commit to for so long was so funny. And it's only because that girl wanted to sleep with him so badly too that he's like, maybe, maybe I'll do this.
But these two Jewish men would be so willing to act as literal Nazis.
I know. It's a little bit of coochie will make the man go cuckoo. You know what I'm saying?
Men will do some crazy things for the
Coco the monkey.
Coco. I know what to call you, Coco the monkey. Oh man, well, Don, dude, thank you so much, and hail to Don, everyone in the chat and those who are watching on the replay. That intro that you just witnessed, which makes me I don't really cry at a lot of things, but that intro, I have to wipe tears from my eyes because it is so damn funny. Was made by our very own Don of the Phoenix, and also IJP Mexican, who tends to be in the chats every now and then. You guys crushed it with that intro, man, and thank you for allowing us to use it this evening. I think my favorite line is when he goes, "They'll be sniffing our dicks and sucking our assholes." Like, she hugs his pants and then George's pants, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Jason Alexander has some of the best facial expressions ever, and he just perfectly encapsulates George. Because even though there is like the kind of similar character Larry David plays, Jason Alexander just brings it to another level. You know, I love him. I love George.
Well, that's actually a great segue because I wanted to ask you guys before we get started, who is your favorite character on the show? Because like I think you could really say like most people would probably know Seinfeld from like, you know, Kramer, like all the different shows and clips and stuff that Kramer normally is in. But Don, I know that your favorite character is George. I mean, rightfully so. But yeah, T-Bone, do you have a favorite character on the show?
You know, that's tough. You know, because a lot one of my two or three of my favorite episodes is the little Yeti Seinfeld. It's one of my favorites. But my all-time favorite episode is the Merv Griffin one, and
oh my god,
the Kenny Rogers Roaster is a close third. Like, they all center around Kramer, and Kramer is he is hysterical. He is, even Jerry Seinfeld admits, like that's the Kenny Rogers Roasters is one of his favorite episodes. Is Kramer in it, and it's like Kramer's my favorite, and he is hysterical.
Yeah, I love this, but I don't want to be a pirate. Yeah, no, I can totally, like, when people say, "Yep, Kramer is my favorite," I absolutely, like, nothing about me says like, "Oh, I don't get that." I completely understand it. His mannerisms, and I think even Jerry has spoken about Michael Richards, I believe is the actor's name.
Yeah,
but he's talked about Michael Richards in how he plays the role. But Jerry has spoken about this multiple times where he said Seinfeld wouldn't have worked without Michael on set. Like, the directors and producers actually had to shut the audience up multiple times because they were like clapping for him whenever he'd enter, and they'd be like, "Shut up, we're trying to shoot the show," you know. They just
not just that, but like he was like the most professional guy on the set.
Oh yeah,
like he would get so upset when people would break character, and he's trying to work. It's like, wow, the funniest guy on the set is the most serious one. It's hysterical.
Yeah. It's quite something when you watch the bloopers and you just see him struggling to stay in character and getting really upset at the ones who can't. So it's funny, but
that's funny too, because he just has a knack for it too. Because I guess Jerry Stiller, when he's coming in with the aluminum pipe for Festivus, Michael Richards like, just drag it behind you, like drag it. And I guess that wasn't the plan, but he told him to do it beforehand. And then when he comes in, that pipe is just dragging as you watch.
It's like
George.
It's so pathetic. Yeah, it's like the word. It's not even. It would be one thing if he's carrying a pipe, but the fact that he's dragging it in is just such a pathetic. It makes it that much funnier. We've got Abomination. AJ, what's going on, brother? But he says just started watching Seinfeld. Damn. Well, I almost envy you because you have such a long journey ahead of you that's just going to be filled with laughs. So,
I don't want to derail this, but if you had to tell somebody, okay, they want to start watching Seinfeld, I think it's almost a disservice. Be like, hey, start episode 1, season 1. It's like, no, there's some. You got to like get them hooked at a good episode, and it's very episodic. Doesn't seem like a lot of it builds. There's some good references, like the whole George is getting upset with the Jimmy episode. Like it pays off knowing that, but I would. There's some later seasons I think are some banger episodes. Like, okay, now you get your taste. Go back a couple seasons, but season 1, episode 1 is rough.
No, like the first 3 seasons are pretty rough. I mean, there are some good episodes, but for the most part, the first 3 are rough. I always tell people, try to start around season 4, because that's where a lot of the great episodes really start. That's when it really gels. That's when a lot of the great ones start clicking in. I think that's when people really start attaching themselves to the show.
I don't know. I find myself kind of being fond of those for earlier seasons. Like, I actually really love season 3. Maybe it's just because it reminds me so much of, like, you watch season 1 and you're like, oh, it is 1989. They are filming, like, everything just screams 90s, right? Or like late 80s, early 90s. The clothes, the speech patterns, the dialogue, the even the rooms, like everything is just 90s. So I don't know. I have a fondness for it, but in terms of how the other episodes panned out in later years, because like Festivus, the Festivus episode isn't until like way later. It's like 7
last
season. Season 9. So like, and that's one of my favorites. So I watch it every year for the holidays, so I think you have to at this point. But yeah, no, that's a great question, Don. What episode do you think you would have people start out on, or maybe not an episode because that's really tough, but maybe a season?
I would give him an episode. I think I would say the contest, not because it's my favorite, but just because it's a great encapsulation of just all of these people and how comfortable they are with one another too.
Yeah,
I think the contest is a good one. Is right. I think that's one of the early good ones. But there's other seasons. I will say this: my favorite episode is Bizarro Jerry, because that one has some of the best B plots ever. Like every single one's a banger. So I don't want to talk more about that. But yeah, I would start off with the contest. Good one.
Yeah. Kyle, what is your? I didn't get to ask you. Who's your favorite character on the show?
It changes. I think the older I've gotten, the more I appreciate George, the more I can relate to George, because I like a lot of our sarcasm and everything, even growing up, now that we have as a family, is because of this show. And it used to be Kramer as a kid, because Kramer's just hysterical, and you just like the slapstickness of Kramer, and just his line delivery is awesome, and it stays with you forever. But George, you appreciate the acting that George does, like the opposite, like that episode of him, like there's just something hysterical about like doing the exact opposite of everything that you've ever done in your life, and just how that would transpire. Like there's just something he does, and like in some of his monologues that he gives.
Oh, so good.
The world's colliding. Like there's just certain things that it's just like,
or explaining the fire, when explaining how he shoved everyone out of the way to save himself.
With his big shoe. Yeah, it's like there's just certain things.
How about
it's not easy.
how about this line delivery?
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
you can't
classic.
beat it. Can't beat it.
No. So,
no, I totally I'm on board with George. And I think I know Don is away right now. He'll be right back.
I just got back. Sorry.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no, I think you and Dr. Martin Van Nostrand here, you guys having George as your favorite character, I think like you all said, as I get older, I tend to resonate so much with like just how like the situations that he gets himself in are just so absurd, and his monologues and how awful of a person he is just makes it that much funnier. It's kind of like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia when you watch Mac or you watch Dennis, and Dennis is such an awful person, which makes it that much more funny. Idiots, dumb idiots, you know. And so I'll say though, I think for me, my favorite character is Jerry, which is like, it's an odd one because I don't think most people would be like, oh, you mean the show that he acts in? Like it's his show, right? But I think we see the craziness happen through his eyes. So like people react, or he reacts to the situations as if we would react to them, right? So I think he's kind of the everyman in all these situations, like the dancing act that takes his jacket, you know, his the Friars Club jacket.
Yeah, the Sando brothers, whatever.
Yeah, the Sando brothers, and he's like, I gotta get that. That's not my jacket. I gotta get that back. Like I have to take it to the Friars Club. It's gonna cost me $800 for this dumb jacket. And in that situation, I'm thinking exactly what Jerry's thinking, you know. So I think I resonate with his character more. Whereas like George is the funniest because he's just so absurdly awful. But yeah, I don't know. No, what was the initial spark that got you guys into Seinfeld? T-Bone and Nostrand, I know that you guys are brothers, so like, was this something you guys grew up watching?
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
We grew up watching with our mom, you know, just every night it was on.
Mm-hmm.
And I distinctly remember back in the days of VHS, like we were recording all the latter episodes, watching them over and over and over again. We watched it because they were so damn funny, especially that last season. We were watching. I mean, ever since I was a kid, the Merv Griffin said episode, I was dying laughing every time I watched that because Kramer is so committed in that episode, is hosting this big show, and Elaine's just like, Kramer, what is wrong with you?
No, it's great. And speaking of the show, we have because he was inviting people on to the show as if they were guests, and he's like, "Welcome, hey, we've got Newman's here." Speaking of guests, we've got Flaccid Gator. What's going on, brother? Thanks for showing up, man.
Yo, so you actually have a based panel or what? I'm hearing like some love for season 9, dude. No one likes season. Everybody's always like, you gotta watch the original. That season. What season is? What season is? Oh, dude, what am I at the contest in season 4? Is that season 4?
Yeah, I think.
I have respect for the episode, but the thing's so overrated, dude. Like, you got to start at season 4, if not season 5 in Seinfeld, and then you really start getting to the good stuff.
Didn't I just say that earlier, Max?
Yeah. You're right. You said that. You're 100% right,
season
man.
4.
Season 6 is by far a perfect sign. I think season 6 is probably one of the most perfect seasons of all of television.
Oh shit!
Like,
wow,
it is just banger after banger. Season 6, I think, is pinnacle Seinfeld.
Dude, yeah, you go 6 through 9, dude. Like, find a bad one. Like, it's tough. It's tough to find a bad. Go to season 1 and 2. It's like that is tough to. Dude,
you're tripping over.
Oh yeah,
parking lot, the Chinese restaurant. It's like, oh, dude, I'll watch.
Come on! Oh, I love the Chinese restaurant, dude. Seinfeld?
Are you serious, dude?
Cut right?
I love that.
Listen, okay, I'm racist too, but it's not that good.
I mean, I think I've watched it so many times now where I'm like, okay, I get it. But like, where George just opens up and he goes, "We're living in a society." Like that shit is like classic George. That's what makes you. I don't know. I like the episode, and it's so relatable because it's like, I've had that situation happen before where you're just waiting for an hour. But no, you're right, Flaccid. I think the later seasons actually get better as it goes on, which is rare because normally
it is,
shows tend to like dive after season 2.
Dude, and you're not catching me at a sit-down Chinese restaurant. I'll tell you that right. Unless it's a buffet style, like
exactly,
buffet
right?
Style
yeah,
for sure. But you're not catching. So yeah, I can't even relate to that, man. It's like, get my name right or wrong, I don't care. Like, I'm in and out of a Chinese place in 2 seconds. You know what I mean? Call me whatever you want. Just give me the fried rice.
Hey, there you go.
I found an interview from Jason Alexander he gave, and he said he's wrong. He said the latter seasons weren't as strong as the earlier seasons, and he was absolutely wrong about that. He said when Larry David left, it got weaker. I'm like, no, Jason, it didn't. No.
Looks like we got a bunch of anti-dentites in here. Damn.
Another great episode.
He's kind of basic.
Yeah.
Tim Watley's like arc is fun to watch because he goes from just a regular dentist to then a guy trying to become a Jew, and then is it that progression? He goes from dentist to Jew to then he's like some sex freak. You know,
one of the best episodes and one of the best scenes is when Jerry is coming to out of his dentist operation,
like
and he's seeing people putting their clothes back on. It's like, what the fuck? That's the best, dude. That's one of the best moments in all of Seinfeld to me.
Oh man,
you're right. Don. The capper is like the very end of the episode when Kramer's reading the Penthouse magazine article or whatever, and it's describing what happened to Jerry in the dentist chair.
And then Jerry's talking to Elaine, and he's like, like my shirt wasn't tucked in. And she's like, well, do you normally tuck your shirts? And he's like, I don't know if I tuck. I didn't know if I tucked or not. But yeah, no, I think, Tim Watley's arc is wild because when we first meet him, like, he holds that party, right? I think, and Mr. Pitt is holding the thing for the Woody the Woodpecker for the Thanksgiving Day parade, and Tim Watley doesn't invite Jerry, and Jerry asks, did he say, Jerry, I'm surprised that you showed up, or Jerry, I'm surprised you showed, or whatever?
I didn't think you'd show.
I didn't think you'd show. Right. So we first meet him there, and he seems like a totally normal dude, and then after a while, he just like completely devolves into this degenerate like weirdo.
But see, that's the magic of the later seasons because everybody is off the rails then. Like at the beginning of the series, you have Elaine who's like some weird, like kind of humanitarian, doesn't like when people wear furs, like kind of like a hipster woman with that dumb bump in her hair or whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
that looks horrible, dude. I'm sorry. But you get that curly hair later on, and she just doesn't give a shit. Like,
No.
She's right.
The case.
She's right there with Jerry, like drugging that girl to play with the toys. You know, with like she's right there with them.
That's the Merv Griffin show episode. Yeah, that's a great episode too. Man.
Yeah,
Great
episode. Yeah. Jerry's got the Scuba Steve, and he's like, moving his legs as he's like.
That's the Scuba G.I. Joe. Yeah,
we're going to the
Yeah.
Me and Don talk about that a lot too. Is they cram so much into the later ones? It doesn't fuck around at all. Sorry if I'm swearing. Sorry, but it doesn't mess around at all. You get to the point in some of those episodes where you might get one line of dialogue and then like a facial expression response, and then like the next scene happens right afterward. It's like 20 scenes in a row in like a maybe 3-minute time period. It's like, yes, this is what I want. No BS. Just show me the good stuff.
Yeah. So Flaccid, Gator, who's your favorite character then from the show? Because
of the main four.
Say again?
Of the main four, you're saying?
No, just anyone. It could it could be anyone. It could be fucking it could be Tim Whatley. It could be Joe Davola. It could be Bob Sacamano. Yeah. My friend Bob Sacamano.
Yeah, Bob Sacamano is pretty good. No, you gotta just go with. I mean, it's kind of a cop out, right? But it's George. It's just the most consistent, like bang for buck. Like everything he says is great. Even in the early seasons, he's got some shining moments. His reaction to being massaged and being touched by that man.
Mm-hmm.
You feel that. You feel it, dude. It sends. That's exactly how I would be, man.
I think it moved, yeah.
And it would move.
Oh yeah. Especially you got Don there giving you a little tug at the pants. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Move. And hello to Punk Waddle. Good evening, sir. And hail everyone to in the chat. If I don't get to you, or if I don't see you, it's just because I am wrapped up in the greatness of this show. But hail to everyone who is here, and thank you guys so much for being here. We got plenty of fun articles that we're going to go over and check some of these things out. But so T-Bone and Dr. Van Nostrand, you said that you guys grew up watching the show with your mom at a young age. Dawn and Gator, what about you guys? How did you find the show?
Yeah, same with me. My dad used to watch it all the time when I was a kid, so I was kind of raised on it, I guess, in like the later 90s. I think that's what it was too. I the first episodes I saw were the later seasons because I was like a really young kid. Yeah. I'm 29 now, so I was a pretty young kid when these things were airing. So
okay, I'm 30, so I same exact thing. Go ahead, Don.
Well, I was gonna say my dad would watch a lot, and my parents. It always. When I was growing up, I'm like, I don't know if my parents have the great taste when it comes to sitcoms, because they watch that and they'd watch like According to Jim and what is it? Still Standing, right? That's the one with Robert Baratheon.
That's pretty good. That's better than
According to Jim. Some good ones. But then they'd watch like King of Queens, and then now in retrospective, I'm rewatching. I rewatched like a lot of them, like 5-7 years ago, and I'm like, these are actually some bangers. And then I got really into Seinfeld.
King of Queens slaps, bro. I love King of Queens.
Nothing makes me happier to see Doug Heffernan, aka Kevin James, on that meme everywhere. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, right. Oh, he deserves it. Oof, Roman of the Empire, 57. Gosh dang, bro.
Keep that to yourself, Roman.
Don't tell us that. Don't. Yeah. I was. When did Seinfeld start? 89. That was the first season, right?
Dude, the pilot is so bad. When's the last time you watched? Like the apartment's all different. There's that cringe scene where Jerry's like sitting cross-legged on a washing machine in a laundromat. It's like,
right, yeah.
It's like really Friends-esque, and it makes me want to throw up. Like it just does.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing that I think is such a abysmal take. But people always say like, "Oh, Friends or Seinfeld," and it's like, the Friends isn't even in the fucking conversation. Right? Like, yes. Seinfeld is so much better. Yeah. Why does anyone think that they're even remotely comparable?
Not even close.
Not even close. But let me get y'all's take on this. I'm going to share my screen here real quick. But do y'all think? So, but to answer your question, or to answer the initial question, yes, I grew up watching this with my dad. It was like this was really one of the few times that I would like see my dad belly laugh. Like he would chuckle every now and then, but like this show would make him belly laugh. And so for me, it was a really cool bonding experience because we would like, I became such a big fan of the show. And our humor was so similar. So we watched it all the time. So we still do, even at 30 years old, I'm still watching it with him whenever I go hang out with him and my mom. And it's so classic, man. It's the best. But let me ask you guys this. Is this Jon Favreau's, which a lot of people don't know that the clown is Jon Favreau, the one and only director of Iron Man. Is this Jon Favreau's best cameo appearance? Is this his best acting appearance?
Oh, hell yeah. Get over it, man. It's
like pound for pound, I think it's his best role for sure.
Pound for pound, his best role?
It's pound for pound. I mean, it's just every second of he's chewing up the scenery. That's really what it is.
Right next to the football player from The Replacements. Yeah, this is right there.
Yeah.
What's funny is like, even with the clown makeup, you can still tell it's him. I don't know how you can, but you can just like, I rewatched the episode and I'm like, how could anyone not see that this is actually Jon Favreau? But
yeah, between this and I Love You, Man, it's kind of tough because he plays such an asshole, and I Love You, Man. Like
he is hilarious when he throws up all over Paul Rudd. Or no, when Paul Rudd throws up on him, and he's like, "Get the fuck out of my house."
Jon Favreau's good. He also has like a couple episode arc in Sopranos. As himself, really? I think.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And he was also in Friends. Is a couple episodes. Dave Courtney Cox.
Yeah, he's like some dude. I've actually seen all of Friends. I'm embarrassed to admit that, but it was when I used to get home from school. I'd watch all the sitcoms that came on, Seinfeld, King of Queens, whatever. And he does. He plays like a billionaire or something. I don't know. He was actually in decent shape back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Well,
he was very fit. He just lost it. He just gave up.
Yep.
Him in Singles, right? I think that's his one of his first films was the ones that he made. Swingers. Swingers is probably my favorite film by him, if not Iron Man. I know people say that Chef is good. I haven't seen that one, but Swingers is like him and Vince Vaughn just are fucking hilarious together.
Yeah. That scene where he's just like calling that one girl over and over again, leaving the messages. I love it.
Walking around his apartment, just continually calling her. Oh yeah, Vegas, baby, Vegas. Yeah, it's got so many great lines from that film. But I wanted to bring this up because after the disaster that we see with like current Disney Marvel, current Disney Star Wars, and Lion King 2019, which was probably one of the worst films ever put to display in theaters. The clown makeup makes much more sense now. Now, I don't know if this is because of Jon Favreau that these things are happening, but he's got his name attached to a lot of this stuff. And I know that Don and little Yeti Seinfeld here, I know that you guys are big Star Wars fans. So like, I don't know if you guys are as fond of him as most other Star Wars shills.
No, you know what? To be honest with you, man, I've totally detached from Star Wars. Like, I like what I like. Like, Andor is a god tier, right? But everything else just sucks ass. I don't even know how much he has to do with it versus Dave Filoni. But you're right. His name's attached to a bunch of shit. But like you said, he's got a bunch of good stuff going on too. So at least we can always remember the clown. We can always remember.
Yes, at least we can remember this scene.
Yep.
Yeah. I want to do a smash or pass with y'all, but this one's going to be interesting. I'm very curious to see because, we're about to get into all of Jerry's girlfriends ranked.
Holy
But one of the things that I noticed was that Elaine wasn't on here, and yet she is technically one of his old, girlfriends.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, is Elaine hot? Is she hot? And would you smash or pass?
No,
more of like a
not that Elaine. Later season.
Here's like more of like 89 to 92 Elaine, right? And here's like more like 98 Elaine.
Yeah, 97, 98 Elaine. That's when she was looking good. Yeah.
Hold on. Let's theme this in Seinfeld. Is she sponge-worthy, right?
Right.
Is she sponge-worthy?
Yay, she's sponge-worthy.
Yeah, I think she's sponge-worthy, but it's a one-night stand. I'm not going to sit around there like Putty, just keep crawling back to this bitch.
No, dude, it's
She
embarrassing.
crawls back to Putty, man. Putty's
I know,
doing
yeah.
his thing.
It's both. It's both. Dude, I respect the shit out of Putty. He's such a he looks great, man.
no.
He could play a classic. He could play a classic Alex Ross style, like Superman or Shazam. He would look perfect, dude. But it's kind of past his prime, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, you're so right. He has that face.
He has that look.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, in that there was a Jerry Seinfeld Visa American Express commercial, Superman, who played the voice of Superman, Patrick Warburton.
Was it? No shit.
Yep.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah, he's sponge-worthy, and so is Elaine here, I think.
Oh, Putty is absolutely sponge-worthy every single day.
He's wearing that devil
all day.
makeup. Dude, amazing.
Devils! The Devils!
I love when they find he has Christian music set to his car.
That's right.
You stole my
believe in
Jesus
God.
fish. Dude,
Yeah.
amazing. He's base as fuck.
So yeah, that is pretty based, eh?
Mhm.
And then the priest is like, El Diablo. Oh, Diablo.
That was a Spanish priest. Come on.
Yeah, come
We're
on.
in New
living
York, buddy.
But yeah, no, I gotta say, even 90s Elaine was pretty promiscuous. Like early 90s Elaine was promiscuous, but later on in these episodes, I mean, absolutely sponge-worthy.
Yeah,
She
I'd rather
would
take the animal one for sure. Because like that early one, he said she's good looking, but it's like, I don't want to get a lecture that I didn't put my water bottle in the recycling. You know, when she's over at my place. Like
Oh,
it's that terrible
Yeah,
SJW
I
mentality.
want the one that's going to puncture my lung because she yells, "Get out," and just shoves me right into the
Oh, dude, like, God forbid I tell her she has a big head. Like, I'll take a fork. I don't know. She can do whatever she wants to me, man.
Yo, yeah, no, like low key, Elaine is pretty crazy. And the more I watch the show, the more it comes up where I'm like, oh wow, she would like in today's culture, she would totally be considered an SJW.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
100%.
Oh, big time.
Especially like the pizza abortion episode.
Yeah, the abortion.
Mhm.
episode.
Yeah. And yeah, like the fact that she is so promiscuous, like her whole thing is just. But then again, I can't really speak because Jerry has 66 girlfriends in the 9 seasons that he's in.
Dude, he's a hobby, man.
he does,
Life's
yeah.
not that
For
boring.
real.
You just spend that much time around women. It's just not that boring.
Yeah,
It's-
Elaine.
it's not worth it.
Elaine definitely would have been a SJW because she literally dates a communist, and
Yeah.
also
Dude.
I would have loved to see how they would have done her dating that interracial guy, the guy that's like so. It's not even interracial. We just don't know what his ethnicity
He's
is.
like albino or
Right.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Darren. A couple
And she's
of
doing
white
it almost like virtue signal because she's like, oh yes, I'm out with my diversity hire boyfriend or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does that a lot too. It's like about the status of it, right? Because she dates
Mhm.
what's his Bob Odenkirk's character? Remember, he's like a fake doctor. What was he, like a podiatrist or?
Yeah,
Or he like
yeah.
wasn't. He
It
didn't
was
pass
an
his medical
internist.
school exam yet. Like that same
What
kind
What
of
was
thing.
it? What was it,
Yeah.
Kyle?
Yeah, he was an internist.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's
He
right.
was the one that screws up the George's girlfriend at the time's test results. Turns out it didn't have mono.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he screwed it up.
yeah.
Take me to your leader.
See, peak George. How is George not your favorite character? So, dude, he eats that donut out of the trash. Are you kidding me? It's sitting right on top. It's perfect. I would have eaten that in a heartbeat.
Yes, I totally agree.
Yeah. How could you? It's on the top of the trash. It's totally
his
fine.
offering,
That,
like
that
an
whole
alien.
scene where he's explaining to Jerry, explaining the logic of eating it out of the trash at the very top. Just
Flawless
I love it.
logic.
Oh,
Flawless.
It is.
So yeah, I mean, a picture speaks 1,000 words. I think Elaine here is good enough for a poke. Definitely sponge worthy.
I'd go
To actually date her, I don't know about that. That
The
might
one
be,
and done.
Yeah, you might have to be in a putty situation. But there was one other thing. Yeah, here we go. So speaking of smashing or passing, and speaking of Elaine and all that, so I figured we'd go through some of these smash or pass and see who's on this list. But I also wanted to see if you guys agree with the ranking, because apparently like each one of these has like 4,000, 3,000, like people have upvoted or downvoted these characters. So I wanted to see if you guys agreed with some of these rankings. But yeah, I guess Sidra is like the most well known because they're real and they're fantastic, or they're spectacular, right? Smash or pass, or do you guys think that she deserves to be number one on Jerry's girlfriend list?
Both for me. It's like she's been smash or pass with Tango and Cash for me. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's not number one, but she's definitely a smash.
Yeah. She's a smash, and I agree. I don't know if she's number one on the list, though.
Yeah. She gets the sponge, but I don't know. I wouldn't put her at number one, but I don't know who's better than her, and there's not a lot of negatives to her. The only reason why she leaves the whole thing is because Jerry just wants to know whether they're real or not, you know?
Well, I think it's because she believes, though, that he set up Elaine going in there to like molest her. I think is really the reason why, which is understandable, you know, because it's kind of just Jerry's fault. But
you got your ex-girlfriend to molest me?
Yeah, it's kind of creepy.
It's like a little bit over the line, not much, but it's a little bit. So I think I'd give her a sponge for sure. Maybe number one. We'll have to see what we got working with down below. Like this number two right here, definitely not above number one.
No.
Because she had like zero personality, and she was one of
she's a ditz.
Yeah, she's a total ditz, and she uses her smile to basically get everything in the world, and that shit just is so fucking pathetic. So I would be like, no, no one has ever frowned at you. Everything that you have gotten is just basically off your looks.
Right.
No one wants to be with that kind of person.
No.
I don't know if she's sponge worthy. I mean, she's gorgeous, sure.
Oh yeah.
But do you want to spend a night with someone who's just so up their own ass?
Yeah, sure.
It's like, yeah, why not? Sure.
Dr.
George would. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how many sponges do we got? You know, the whole thing about being sponge worthy is, you know, I only got so many sponges.
Yeah, they went out of business.
How many are in a case? What, 80?
Yeah, I don't know. There's quite a few.
Well, if there are 66 girlfriends on this list, let's say, I don't know, maybe 20. We got 20 sponges.
Oh, not sponge worthy. Keep going. I need some more spice in my life.
Is 20 fair? Should we we do half? 30?
No, 20 is okay. 20 is okay.
Yeah, so I'm down to 19 now.
Because then worst case scenario, you know, if we don't use our remaining sponges, we can double up on some of the previous ones we thought were sponges. I'm passing on 2 as well. I think that's a no-go.
Yeah, I'll pass.
And I will justify number one, my sponge worthiness, because I have to know whether they're real or not too, right? You know, you got to know. So
of course.
I mean, we really don't care in the end, but I am curious. You know, it's not a make it or break it thing for me at all. You know, that boob guy, come on.
Yeah. I'm an ass man.
13 years old.
I'm an ass man. I mean, hey, look at the name. I love that Kramer goes, "Oh, it's all right, proctology." He's walking away from the car. Oh yeah, have a good one.
Good.
That's my move. He stopped short.
What kind of a move is that too?
That whole situation. Yeah. And then what's his name? George is like, did he use a knuckle? And she's like, yeah, he did. And he goes, that's my move. He's stealing my move. She goes, oh yeah, I can definitely see why. Yeah, you have to see if they're real. I think that's fair. I think that's sponge worthy. So this one, I don't remember her. I remember her in the Friars Club because I recently rewatched that episode. I think she's freaking gorgeous. I don't remember her having much of a personality though, because this was the episode where like George and Jerry want to both have girlfriends so that they can like hang out together and be yeah, exactly.
For coffee. Yeah.
Yeah. And Jerry keeps saying, I don't know what that means. I don't know what you want, from the Gatsby's. But yeah, what do you think about Hallie? Hallie?
I thought she was kind of a bitch, and the way that she just says, I'll see you at the wedding. It was just like, what? I thought they stole my jacket. It's not my jacket. It's the Friars Club's jacket. And I'm supposed to assume that you got it dry cleaned. You didn't tell me. Yeah. And it's like, what's the matter with you? And then you get mad at me? Fuck you. Like, nah.
Yeah. Yep. 100%.
No, that's super based.
She's high, like she thinks she's so uppity, right? Look the way she dresses too. She always wants to go out and do things. Like I'm just not gonna live up to the standards anyway. And I guarantee she's a dead fish. You know what I'm saying? So no sponge.
Yeah. She's got no moves, right?
She's got no moves. Give me a knuckle. Is it so hard to ask for a
counterclockwise swirl?
Whatever the hell that is.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pull a George. Doing the trifecta, get any sort of pleasure in the bedroom.
There you go.
Eating, listening to radio.
Give me the salami, man, or the pastrami, whatever it was. Juice my prostate like a lemon.
No, actually, you know what I would do since I got the shaved head here? I would dip my head in oil or whatever you said, and smother it all over your body. Yeah. With the woman who doesn't speak any English, yeah.
Yeah, it worked out though. She knew what he was talking about.
That's true.
And then they go over there.
No sponge.
Pass, no smash.
Pass.
No, she is not sponge worthy, unfortunately.
No.
But yeah, we'll pass on her. Bridget, this lovely artist, captures Jerry's heart in season 6's The Soup, which is interesting because there's the soup and then there's the soup Nazi.
Mm-hmm.
But her insistence on treating him like a piece of meat due to her appreciation for his good looks quickly becomes tiresome. I don't know if I remember that aspect. The only aspect I remember is Jerry missing his flight because the pilot tells him to get off, and his agent keeps like trying to, help him out, and she just makes things worse. I think she's gorgeous. I just don't remember much of her character.
She looks like Claudia Schiffer, and it's like, she's getting a sponge. Yeah.
I gotta go with Spongeworthy. My only hesitation would be that she's like 6 feet tall. Like Jerry's
perfect,
probably 5'11".
She's 6 foot. Is she 6 foot?
I think she's a model.
Kidding.
Berta Wagfjord. So she's a tall.
Nice name. How many vowels can you get in there? I think I would, just because like you know what you're getting into. Like she's kind of an animal. It's gonna be a one and done. She's not gonna care. And 6 foot. I mean, listen, I'm 6'1". I've never had anybody that tall is like approaching my height. So I'm down.
That'd be
It
fun.
could be like George, who wants a 6'4" woman in the bed. So
there you go,
dude. I love that scene too, where he's looking up at her when he finally like finds his perfect. He's like a little kid looking up at his role model. It's just amazing.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm gonna give Bridget a sponge.
Me too.
I think that's fair.
I'm gonna pass. I don't remember much about her. She looks great, but all of Jerry's girls look gorgeous. I don't remember except for the one in the certain light. She kind of looks like a dog. He has a lot of good looking girls. I don't know. I want to save my spot. I'm already seeing down below here. The next one. So I'm already looking ready to use my sponge down there.
You're about to use a sponge on Jenna?
Really?
Oh hell yeah!
Interesting,
dude.
Really?
Isn't this the girl from Sex and the City too?
Yeah.
Isn't that girl? Yeah.
She kind of looks frail to me. She kind of looks frail. I feel like I'm gonna break.
Yeah, but she's a little
gentle.
She doesn't care about germs, dude. That's awesome.
Toothbrush and a toilet bowl. Ugh.
Yeah, and Melrose.
Oh, we're gonna get up to some things.
Have a nice life. You're like,
Oh no, dude.
That's true. No, you're right. She doesn't give a shit about that. That's actually cool. Like, what else can you get away with? That's what I want to know. Okay, yeah, I'm in. I'll do a
anything, literally anything at that point.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Sponge.
Sponge.
I don't think I'm gonna give I'm gonna withhold my sponge for someone very special.
I can't. The germ. That's too much. I can't. Yeah. I can't do it. That's too much.
She will do some crazy stuff, but like I don't know about that. So
she's hot though.
I think there are hotter women down below here. I think.
Oh yeah.
There's some coming up here that I just think are like 10 out of 10. So, but Lynette, what's funny is like I saw Lynette first in Saving Silverman. I think was the first film I saw her in with Jack Black and those dudes. So. Whenever I see her in this episode, I immediately think of Saving Silverman.
Yeah, Whole 9 Yards. Yeah.
I'm withholding my sponge on this one. So many things wrong. She's got the boyfriend at home. She's
the dude?
like Jerry. Yeah, the dude. Jerry and George have to single-handedly try and tend to her needs. Like that is a woman that is way too much work. There's no way. So I'm gonna keep my sponge.
Yeah, it's that crazy hot scale. It's just kind of like you don't know what you're gonna get into. Is it a one night stand or would she not leave you alone? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, she's absolutely beautiful, but those crazy eyes. Soul's got sponges for the last one, I think.
Oh, dude, another one of the best scenes. Sorry to interject, but George, remember that episode where he's dating that girl and he's trying so hard to break up with her, but she won't let him do it? I think her name is Mona or something. Like, do it. And he actually pretends like he's cheating on her with another girl and like sets up this meeting where they meet each other. It's like, oh shit, they're both gonna leave me, and they both want to work it out with him, and they accept this.
Oh my god,
this throuple. It's amazing, and George hates it. See,
that's so funny because
maybe that's
because doesn't she say she's like, we can work through this, George, and then the other one's like, yes, we can too, and it's like, oh,
it's so insane.
Well, it's the same thing with whenever he's trying to break up with Susan. He's thinking of everything in the book. He's tried smoking. He's tried
prenup,
picking his nose. He's like, she walks in and I'm up to my wrist, you know, when he's picking his nose.
The
and like,
prenup. Yeah, she won't take it.
Yeah. She's like, you don't have any money.
Yeah, more money than you do.
Yeah, so she laughs at him. Sure, I'll sign it.
I hate Susan.
Yeah.
When did George meet the woman who was the tour guide? When he shows her the apartment, and she's like, "You might want to get it clean."
8, I think.
Yeah.
It was like a bunch of monkeys lived in here or something.
Now I remember her from Melrose. There was a couple chicks on here that were on Melrose Place. She was one of them, and she was fucking hot.
She's got gorgeous eyes.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that always sticks out is like crazy big blue eyes.
Yeah.
Not crazy eyes, but crazy blue eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, that one's pretty funny where George acts like a tourist. So
the city would eat you alive.
Yeah, so funny.
Working for Tyler Chicken.
Ellen.
Yeah.
So this one has always been funny to me because they can't figure out what's wrong with her. She's like perfect. And all of her friends are like, oh, that's so sweet that you're like it's charity work, you know.
Yeah.
Like, it's so sweet that you're going out with her.
She's a loser.
Dude, I'm giving Ellen like a sponge every day of the week.
Yes.
She's cute, she's funny, she's kind, she's like perfect girlfriend.
She'd be close to number one. I mean, she may be. She's up there.
Ellen's up there. I mean, she's
there.
definitely higher than what was it, Nikki? Like,
yeah,
Nikki down, way
Mm-hmm.
down.
Yeah, go to hell, Nikki. Rest in peace. Ellen, I think you're overrating a little bit. There's nothing really special. She clearly shaves a mustache too. When I look at her, it's kind of like Helen Hunt. You know, it's like I can tell you got a mustache, and not just like a little invisible peach fuzz thing. I think you have an actual mustache you shave. I think you have a real one, and I don't know. I think it says something about her personality. She's hiding too much from me. I'm not giving her a sponge.
Oh man,
she's too good to be true. I don't think so.
Donald O'Brien. What are we thinking?
Listen, even though she fits the criteria of my my legion, I'm in charge of as Donald O'Brien. I think I'm going to pass too. There's some other girls here that I want some more feistiness with. That I think Jerry gets involved with, like the one right below too. Again, that one.
Oh yeah.
I think I might.
Oh yes.
All day.
I think
all day. Yeah.
Well, I think the classic tale of this is that there's good naked and there's bad naked. Right?
That's good naked.
That's good naked. But would you, O'Brien, would you be able to, after she opened a jar of pickles, would you still be able to give her a sponge, right? Wasn't that the one that Jerry was like,
Yeah, just think how high Jerry's standards are, that he just sees her in such a little bit of a vulnerable or uncomfortable position, and then he's like, yeah, I can't even look at her naked anymore. It disturbs me. It's like, come on, dude. You tell me in the bedroom you're not doing anything weird? What is Jerry just only doing like missionary? Just like wholesome.
Yeah, not even knees up missionary, like regular old grinding little barely any movement. I think that's what's going on. I do that.
Lights off. Yeah, I'm giving her a sponge.
You are giving her a sponge?
I'm giving a sponge, yes.
Dude, I'm not giving her a sponge. Do you realize how hot she would require you to keep your place when she's naked all the time? Women are cold, and she's always naked.
True.
It's like 85 degrees in there at any given time. And plus, she wears toe rings, dude. Like, how weird is that?
Yeah, that's true. Toe rings is
put a toe ring on.
Flag.
The little Yeri, that was actually you're thinking like 4D chess here, man, because I would have never thought of the heat in that apartment, but you're totally right.
You'd be sweating.
It'd have to be like 85 degrees in that apartment. It'd be awful.
No sponge.
Yeah, I don't think I'm giving a sponge just because of the fact that like taking her clothes off and like, giving her a sponge would be completely meaningless because she's always just naked. So it would ruin the fun of like actually getting to, go out to dinner and then go do something later. If she's always naked, it's like, oh, okay, well, but maybe I'm just like Jerry and I'm weird, but what's happening actually, Andrew? Good to see you, dude.
Good morning. Let me be clear. I don't want a relationship with her. I'm just giving her the sponge.
Yeah, I agree. Me too.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kicking that thermostat back down to 65.
Oh, dude, yeah, that's good time.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. This episode is always funny to me, with Elaine stuck in the back. And now there are two airplane episodes where Elaine is stuck in the back. But it's the other one that she calls the guy vegetable lasagna, right?
Yep.
Which I think is the funniest name in Seinfeld, potentially. Is just vegetable lasagna. But no, this one's great because you see the juxtaposition between Elaine in the back and then Jerry in first class, and they're laughing, they're drinking champagne. She's like,
more anything? More everything.
More everything. So this is also the model who recommends or who starts wearing the beach that is created, I guess you could say, by Kramer. But yeah, what are y'all thinking on this one?
I'm kind of passing. I'm going to pass on her.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah.
She's really pretty. I mean, she's clearly a model. But
it's the pretentiousness, though. Again, like the prissiness, and it's just when they're so done up like that or whatever, they're not going to be anything. Again, it's dead fish. It's dead fish. You're not going to be able to do anything.
You're going to be doing most of the work. They're not going to do anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not even about the work, because I assume I'm going to do most of the work anyway. But it's like they won't even work with you. It's like, no reception.
Yeah. Plus, I think she was even showing him like one of the magazines, and she's like, "Oh yeah, see the pair of jeans hanging on the chair in the very back. That's the product placement. But I'm completely naked in the front of the magazine or whatever." It's like, oh, okay. Well, everyone's seeing my girlfriend just
Yeah.
Maybe for one night, but like you guys said, I don't know. The pretentiousness was a huge turn off.
Don, did you say if you were sponging or not?
Nah, pass. No sponge.
Yeah, no sponge.
Yeah.
Also, she doesn't like him picking his nose too, right? That's a thing.
Oh, dude, yeah, way too far.
What am I thinking?
What can I do around her then?
Yeah.
Well, honestly,
I like how was it George and Jerry who were talking about the pick, and they're like, "You're telling me that Jesus wasn't in the desert and it gets hot out there, the air is dry. He's gonna have to pick." I remember Meryl, because that's Jerry's quote unquote wife.
Yep.
For the
pancakes.
The laundromat. Yeah, we'll always have pancakes. But I don't know if I remember Patty that much.
She get angry.
Yeah, she wanted
to get
yeah.
really angry.
Oh, yeah.
You look like Harry Dodd.
That's right. That's right. Where he's where she kind of pushes him to the limit, but then while she gets him angry, he's now able to show all the other emotions too. And he's like, "What is this salty substance?" Salty discharge.
Doesn't he say something to George? Or no, I think that was something else. I'm trying to remember when he's.
No, he tells him, "I love you, George."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was George's reaction to it. It's so funny too. He's like, looking. Yeah. I'd give her a sponge. I think the crazy factor or whatever, like the let loose factors there. She's not like obviously the best looking or whatever, but she's not bad looking at all. So yeah, she'll get a sponge from me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you tell like she's got some tude. Like she could. Yeah, it'd be kind of wild in there. She'll
take charge. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What else was she? Was she on Full House? Was that the other one that she was on?
Yep.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah. No, I'm giving a sponge to Patty for sure.
I think she wound up going to jail for the college admission scandal. I think she was one of the
Oh, that's right, for
Really?
USC, right?
Yeah.
She got her daughter into the rowing scholarship or whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
Damn.
This is one of my favorite episodes. This is the Serenity Now episode.
Oh, that's right. Oh my god.
One of my all-time favorite. I say that almost every day.
Kramer with the screen door. Kramer with the screen door. Anytime,
Anytime
USA.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and those kids,
And then
the kids down the hall. There's a ton of them too. Like, who are they?
He gets the hose and he's like, "Now, Jerry,
Hoochie mama.
Hoochie mama."
Yeah, Hoochie Mama is so good.
Oh god.
Yeah.
No.
Where's the hose I put under your sink?
So ridiculous.
Patty gets the sponge because also, what is she demanding from her boyfriend? To show emotion? Yeah, making sure my boyfriend's not a psycho maniac that can't even express anger. He's just like some weird robot. Yeah, of course. Yeah, Patty gets it.
Yep.
Yeah. Good call.
Meryl.
Now, Meryl, I'm not doing the sponge. What was her contribution to anything?
Nothing.
I mean, yeah, the only reason why she was there was because Jerry wanted to give her that discount, and so they pretended to be.
But they
husband
got
and wife.
along very well. That's the thing. If you watch that, those two, when their conversations, everything, it felt like they were a legit couple. You watch them talk.
For the first half of the episode, but then the second half. Oh yeah, honey, it was there yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, she's cool, right? Because she'll go along with this thing, even to the point where people in real life out there think that they're married. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she's not willing to tarnish or like she's willing to, whatever, if you consider it tarnishing reputation, to think you're married to some random dude you barely know. Like, I don't know. She'll probably go along with quite a bit, but that's kind of like more relationship material you want. But for just a one and done, it's like, I don't know how much that plays a role. I'd say no sponge.
Yeah,
no sponge.
I'm gonna
pass.
Withhold mine.
I'll use a sponge. I'll go with one.
Oh.
What's funny is with Becky Gelke, like we know absolutely zero about her. This is really the only scene we like see her in at all. And yet I still think that she's, obviously gorgeous, but I can't really
Helen
say
Slater. Come on, Supergirl. She's getting it. Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess I could say sponge-worthy, but it's really based solely only on looks because we know practically nothing about her. But
yeah, you can make up whatever you want.
True.
Yeah, there you go. This one is funny. Wait, because this is the one who's always had a boyfriend.
Yeah,
and Jerry and Elaine both are waiting for them to break up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Deborah Messing. I think she's really pretty, but
ugly on the inside. But
yeah, she's a Nazi, so I'm gonna have to pass on that.
Oh, that's right. Oh my god, yeah. Because they find out about it at the funeral, right?
Like, that for a one night stand. I'm like, I could kind
of smash. Yeah, she's getting more than one sponge.
Yeah,
her ending line on that episode is so funny.
Yes,
not
for the Jews and blacks.
The Jews. It's like, will you marry me?
God. I forgot
she
that
didn't
was
know
her.
that Jerry was Jewish, which I thought is hysterical. It's like, okay.
And then Jerry's face after she says that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah, no, she gets a sponge for sure, and maybe even two.
Yeah,
1 to 2.
That would be fun.
Oh, Sophie the tractor.
The tractor story.
The tractor story.
Not happening.
She got gonorrhea though.
Yeah.
That's not permanent. You can get rid of that.
I know.
Me and Don Boy had a friend in high school who got gonorrhea, and he just got an injection, got rid of it. He said his mom hurt.
And for some reason, he wanted to tell his mom about it later on.
Yeah, dude, he wrote his mom a letter. Wasn't that in the letter he wrote his mom?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so weird.
Like, hey, mom, sorry to tell you this. Sorry to break the news to you.
What was like? It was like years.
It was like
previously too.
It was like our friend. Okay, and I'm not gonna try to derail this, but he wrote a tell-all letter to his mom of all the bad things he did, like in high school. Like, what the hell is going on with you, dude? Like, and he told him all about this shit.
Was he trying to like atone for his sins or something?
He grew up with sisters only, so
sisters, Catholic. Yeah, I think it's he was.
It writes itself.
Yeah, it's crushing him. So his guilt is just.
Oh God. Damn. Well. Yeah. Oh God, I forgot that the episode was called "The Burning." Oh God.
Yeah.
But that tracks. Yeah. No. I'm gonna withhold mine.
Yeah,
I like
pass. Pass.
That's a hard pass. Now Laura, however, I really like Laura.
Yes.
Yes.
She's great. And this was really like, I think Seinfeld was actually pretty, if you want to call it progressive, quote unquote, for its time. Because like they had a lot of different people in here that were, like who is hired other than like Disney doing the Echo show or whatever, and completely, misusing the Echo character. But in the 90s, the Marlee Matlin was actually in a few different films and TV shows. Like she was actually really famous, even
Oscar
with
nominated.
her.
Yeah.
Even with her disabilities. That's right. Yeah. So, but no, she is so chill. The fact that she's like willing to read lips, the fact that she's willing to like, totally joke around with Jerry, especially after he's like, "Oh, what are you, deaf?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, bingo."
Bingo.
Bingo. She's based as hell, man. So I think I'm giving a sponge.
You're giving her the intersectionality points, man. Come on, like it's she's good looking, whatever. But I've passed on better looking women in this list already, so I gotta pass.
Mm-hmm.
I'd give her a sponge.
Yeah,
I would like to give her a sponge, but
it's a charity sponge.
But her height.
Just to say I was with a deaf woman. Hell yeah, why not?
There you go. Yeah.
That is true. Yeah, the story is
she couldn't hear anything. It's like, oh, that's so cool.
Well, you would be able to. You'd be able to say.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good.
You would be able to say, "Well, I laid the panties that your mother laid out for you," and she wouldn't be able to hear you.
I was gonna say you can hit her from the back and say literally whatever you want to her.
Just screaming the whole time.
Like, dude, I literally told her the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. Well, I was like, she had no idea.
I literally explained to her all three movies of the Lord of the Rings trilogy in extended detail. To kind of speed things up, I'm going to go over some of these that are just kind of like meh.
Oh, started Kathy all day, any day for me. Yes, absolutely.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Like that authority figure, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
Dude, Jane, still standing, right?
Yeah, Jane. Yeah.
Dude, you know how rich you ever see how rich she is in real life?
I just saw this.
Yeah, she's like I didn't see it just recently, but I think if maybe she still is like the richest actress ever or something like that. It's because she made some great investments, and so she is like a billionaire.
Wow.
Yeah.
My God. Well, sounds like she didn't spare any of her money. Like she didn't spare a square. But I always forget that she was the sex worker on the phone sex worker as well. So I don't know. Her attitude was awful on that episode. I couldn't stand being around her for more than a second. So I don't know.
Or 30 seconds. Whatever.
Now Rachel Goldstein,
yes.
she does not get enough love. I think not only is she in the classic episode of the pool episode, but what's them?
Yeah, the Hamptons.
And the Hamptons.
And
she's got like a literal perfect body. Like she has, even with the 90s mom jeans, like she is gorgeous.
She rocks those 90s mom jeans. She looks hot in those.
She fills them out.
She crushes it. So
yeah, no, you're right. She's got a good body. I'd give her a sponge.
I'd sponge it.
Two sponges. You get two.
I want to give her the sponge, but she just laughs at my boy George. She looks down and laughs. That's so humiliating.
She's going to be laughing at me too. She's going to be laughing at me too, but that's okay. Yeah. We're already in a precarious position. You know what I mean? It's like, what are you going to do? Leave?
She's going to know I wasn't in this.
No girl code. It's like, come on, what are you doing?
Yeah,
I know.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Well, you know what, O'Brien? Let me play this real quick, and then you can make your decision.
I was in the pool. I was in the pool.
Of when she walks
too
in
funny,
and
dude.
she's just like, oh, I'm really sorry. trying not to laugh. Could you imagine seeing a dick so small you laugh at it? Because I can't.
Oh,
I know.
that hurts. That hurts.
Yeah, she stares at it for a bit there. It's
she
not like a
does.
quick
Well,
like.
if you
sorry.
rewatch the episode, her eyes never leave George's crotch.
Yeah. It's there.
Oh man, yeah. I'm giving a sponge every day of the week, but also I think it's hilarious because we first see her, like you were saying, Drew, in the Schindler's List episode, and her dad confronts Jerry, and she's in the background, just like, "I'm sorry, I don't know." But Cindy, the maid / prostitute.
No.
No. That's a no for you.
That's a no.
Dude,
Can't
what,
do
she's
that.
cleaning. She's cleaning your place, right? She's cleaning your place.
No, not really.
Well, not really. She's sleeping in my bed and not.
right,
Took a nap.
I forgot you're paying her. I
She's on
forgot
the
you're
street
paying.
corner
Yeah,
picking
never
up
mind.
dudes. I'm like, no thanks.
I forgot you got to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did I pay
But
for?
we get Dolores,
Oh, yeah.
otherwise government named what were some of the names they were
Mulva.
coming up with?
Mulva.
Mulva. Government named
Yes.
Mulva.
Ovaries.
Ovaries.
Gipple or whatever.
Yeah,
Get
get
Now she looked later on after Susan died. She shows up again. She was rocking that leather black vest thing and the
Yeah.
mom jeans. She was looking fucking hot, and it's like she's getting a sponge any day, every day.
Damn.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
No sponge. She's a bitch.
Damn. I mean, to be fair, she says, "I think I'm falling for you, Jerry Seinfeld." That's a big line. Like, you don't say, "Oh, I'm falling for you" to just anyone, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think she's a keeper. I think I might give her a sponge.
Getting a sponge.
Sponge.
Getting a sponge, says O'Brien. All right. And Dr. Van Nostrand.
Yeah.
The brawless wonder.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Absolutely.
100 times
Yeah.
yes. Even with her marrying Pinter, the Indian guy.
Yeah.
Mhm. Who I think is who's the guy she marries? At least one of them. I don't remember. It's the doctor that's in the cave with Tony Stark.
Yeah, Tony Stark. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
No shit, that's him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is wild, man. We got the whole Iron. We just need RDJ, and we got the whole Iron Man cast. We've got what's his name in the clown makeup, Jon Favreau, and
Yeah. I love Sue Ellen because the whole like Elaine giving her that gift of the bra, and then she just wears it as a top because she never wears that.
Alpha
It's so
move.
good. Yeah, it is an alpha move, and she's like, "It's not
Yeah.
Sue Ellen. It's not a top," and she's like, "I know."
You think it's
Peter
gonna
was
make her
right here,
sponge-worthy, though?
the elevator door closed.
Yeah, she's tall and she's confident. I want it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not giving her a sponge.
And
Well,
she's
okay,
really
I'd give her like the permanent sponge, maybe to get that. What is it like O'Hare and
The
candy
O'Henry
bar
money.
fortune?
Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe that, but like a one and done. No, I don't think so. I gotta get
don't
my
know,
food
when-
retention going up. Get the tea up.
When you watch Elaine's reaction and you watch Sue Ellen walking down the street, and Elaine's like, the first time you see her, and Elaine's like, "Oh, Sue Ellen, she never wears bras or whatever." And you see her, like, she's in a baggy sweater, and you're like, "Oh my god, no, she really does not wear bras."
No,
Okay.
dude, take olds.
Yeah, some big heavies.
Yeah, those are real and spectacular, right there.
Yes,
Jeez.
yeah. Speaking of the Merv Griffin show, I know you guys were talking about this one a lot. Tawny,
No, that's not her.
that's not okay. Then
Yeah, that's
maybe
the dark hair
He's the
person.
one. She has the fungus medicine.
Yeah,
Tawny
she's
has
the
the.
fungus side.
that's right. So yeah, this website is totally off. Maybe each one of these is like a bad description, but
Yeah.
Fungus cat? No way. Not because of the fungus or whatever, but it's because of the cat. Like, come on.
I'm allergic to cats,
If your
so
cat
I
gets
got
fungus,
that.
throw it out. You don't need it.
throw out the cat.
Yeah. Kill the cat.
Kill the
then
cat.
maybe we'll talk.
Cats are evil.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Yeah, even though she's got a cat, that's not the thing for me. I don't know. I there was really nothing special. Marla, the fact that she goes out with Kennedy Jr., Leaves with Kennedy Jr. is freaking hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Rude. Fuck this bitch.
No,
No,
I've never been attracted to her. Even like everything from this to Frasier, whatever. It just never. She's never done it for me. It's just
No.
I like the accent, but
I'm an ethnocentrist, so fuck the Brits. Man. No way.
So what is her job? She cleans out closets. She rearranges closets. Like, okay, whatever.
Nothing but hooks. Just gonna have hooks on the hooks.
Yeah. No, her attitude when she's like, "Oh, you're all horrible, horrible people." I'm like, "Fuck off, dude." Like that's no way. Donna Chang, no.
I don't know.
Donna Chang.
I think I might give her a sponge.
A sponge?
Yeah, I kind of like her.
I think I'd give her a sponge, man.
Does she have a good humor about her last name?
Yeah,
I think so.
hot.
And then George's mom is like, "I thought I was talking to a Chinese woman."
Well, dude, I love she gets into it too. She dedicates to the bit a little bit, like just it's almost like gaslighting. It's like she says ridiculous in these little Asian. And like, did you say ridiculous? Like, no, I said ridiculous. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh man,
it's amazing. I love the mind games.
Oh yeah.
So Vanessa's kind of a wild card. She was in season 1.
Yeah.
She was a bitch.
Just scroll to the next one.
You didn't you thought that she was a bitch? I thought she was really funny with Jerry.
When they go away to that and it tries to explain the stock market to him, like Jerry doesn't know how the stock market works.
Oh, that's right.
It's like, what do you have, a dumbass? It's like,
yeah. No, you're
Fuck
right.
you.
You're right. Oh my God.
Smash this all day.
Yeah, I'd smash. Yeah.
Yeah, I got us a reservation. Hey, Jerry, look what I got. Ooh.
Smoking peace pipe. Yeah.
I had way too much fun fucking with her this whole time. Oh, man.
Yeah, dude, this is a for sure sponge. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, she's
thick that hair is, man.
Yeah.
Wait, you're saying no? I'm saying no because like you can't say anything around her.
Oh, no,
bullshit.
This. No.
No, because remember, she tells Jerry's like, "Hey, I'm really sorry about the whole thing," and she's like, "Well, it's a really sensitive subject for me." Well,
that's just an obstacle. You got to indoctrinate her, man. Like you got to teach her. Okay,
you break that down.
But no, I think Jerry's whole conversation where he's trying to he's got to watch what he says is actually really 2023 because he's like, "Yeah, I got us a reservation. I've scheduled plans for us at the," and then what are you, an Indian? Give it.
That term.
So yeah, just all that stuff. I'm just like, no way. You would never be able to say anything. She would get offended by it all.
I'd sponge it.
Yeah, sponge.
Damn.
Sponge it up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who you guys are anymore. Once we get into some of these, it's just kind of like, there's really nothing that.
You know what? I'll say this though, because the description earlier was for the Merv Griffin show one, but it didn't show her. I would sponge the Merv Griffin show one, the one.
Yes,
for
absolutely.
sure. Like I was waiting for that one to come up actually, but now I feel like she's not going to because they put it up on the list or whatever. That is a sponge for sure. I don't know what you guys feel.
Remind me,
Nope, I agree.
One, I'm gonna keep scrolling, but man hands.
Dude,
if you
so
do see her, let me know because I don't remember.
Sponge,
no, I didn't see her. Wow,
I didn't see her unless you different picture of her.
Number 37. I wrote this one down because I want to make sure we get to it if it wasn't on here. That's the Romanian gymnast, dude. Oh, she's.
Oh,
yeah, she can get it.
She's the one who Jerry's like, I want her to use me as the pummel horse.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Gosh, dang.
I'd be the apparatus.
Right.
That's right, the apparatus.
Talk about Katisku before you get into that.
Oh yeah.
Katya.
What?
No, that's a good call on
that's
that
a sponge,
one,
yeah.
Sponge. Well, and then also if you go up a little bit, I think the one we just left on. She's not. I don't think she's sponge worthy. Keep going up. Right here, the Switch. Isn't this the one where? What am I thinking of? Maybe I'm getting mixed up.
What are you trying
to? No,
think
the
of
Switch is. This is where the ski.
Belly button. She says, "Bounce like no." Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm thinking about the other girl that Jerry wants to date the roommate.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't see them on here either. She's not on
Yeah.
here
either.
Because the roommate
weird.
is hotter, I think, than the one Jerry.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
The roommate is hotter, and she has a way better laugh.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, for sure. What about
Two-Face
down there?
sitting on a juicer?
Two-Face?
Yeah, I think she's down there a little bit, dude. No way. I'm getting
Valerie's a pass. She's a psycho.
Yeah.
Wait.
Valerie.
Valerie.
But you could bang her and her stepmom, so maybe I don't know.
Yeah, because she has Jerry under poison control. I think.
Yeah, but the
or,
stepmom's not
know.
that great. I mean,
Yes.
for her age, it's like okay, whatever.
What did y'all think of Jerry dating female
I
Jerry?
hate Janine Garofalo. I no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's
totally
weird.
She's
Yeah,
still obnoxious. I'd punch her in the face. I can't do it.
I'll laugh.
Because he's
after you
like,
do it.
cereal again?
Yeah, it's like
When they're
he's
at the
like
coffee
dating
shop.
yourself. Kenny is
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Schmoopy.
No way to
No.
Schmoopy.
Dude,
Get out
one of the
here
best
with
things though
Schmoopy.
ever, man. She says, to, "Do I know you?" Like after they're together. So good. And then her
Based
response
as
to it,
hell.
too.
Do
Yeah,
I
super
know
based.
you?
Give me that soup.
Yeah. And her face is just so great.
Oh, it's
in
great.
that same episode, I think George may have one of his best moments where he shows Jerry just how annoying it is. So
Mhm.
he starts doing it
Yeah.
to Susan, and that shit is so funny.
Well, then Susan gets into it, and now she wants
Yeah.
to do it with
Yep,
George
there's
to
backfires.
over again.
my brother, Dr. Van Nostrand here. He often tell me like a few years ago, I dated a woman. Like I guess he said like we acted like the
Yes,
schmoopy.
100%.
Oh.
I did the schmoopy shit, and I'm like, God, I can't do it. I can't.
So you got to put
T-Bone,
down your
what
friend
was-
when that happens. You just got to put them down.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no other way out.
T-Bone, what was her name? Or what was your little was it like teddy bear, sweetheart, Schmoopy? What was her little nickname?
Maybe Cal can remember. I don't know.
I'm trying to block it out of my memory forever. I want to forget it even.
Because
happened.
there's a period. Cal will tell you. I was like Jerry Seinfeld. I was dating a different girl like every week.
Every
2
week.
weeks. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Damn.
Didn't even care to know their names at times. I don't give a fuck what your name is.
Well, I mean, to be fair, a lot of these women just have nicknames. Like every one of these women have like the belly button, like some of the women just have nicknames. They don't even have actual names.
Yeah. Cheryl, hot Asian, absolutely.
Okay. Was the masseuse on here at all? I don't think the masseuse.
No. She
I would. Masseuse. Can you imagine?
No, you got to like wife that one. You don't just smash. You got to. That's like a
Dude,
relationship.
yeah, but I can use a sponge too on her. Why can't I use a sponge?
That's true.
and
You
then
might get
both?
one massage. That's true.
Yeah.
No, but she wouldn't even do it. She was a total
was
asshole to
true.
Jerry.
Oh yeah. What?
Because like
Even
every
it's
time he'd
Lois.
be like,
It's
"Please."
Buzzkill.
The reporter Lois isn't even on here.
Oh no, she's up.
No,
I think she's,
Lois is here.
yeah,
She
she's
is?
up there. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, she's right. Where'd she go? She's right here.
There she is.
But no,
okay.
I don't. The
Down at the
masseuse.
bottom? No,
there's
she needs to be up. She needs to be further up. It's just that's not.
No, the masseuse. There's no way. The masseuse was. She was not very friendly to our main man Jerry. And the other one that they don't have is the woman who's trying to be an actress, and she's like,
Oh, the understudy.
the understudy, yes. Where Jerry has the conversation between his brain and his, junk, and he's like, they're playing chess.
Oh,
yeah.
That's got to be early Seinfeld, right?
It's
That is-
super early.
Yeah, that's
like
that
season 1 or 2. Yeah.
I swear, Nelson, I don't know who you are.
Who are
that
you?
girl's good looking.
Yeah, she is. The like dark red hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead, Don.
I was gonna say we were just talking about, I guess, I was gonna throw in a random girl, and the way you were doing the Southern accent reminds me of that farmer's daughter that Newman gets.
Oh
with.
yeah, so funny, dude.
Yeah.
She's so good looking. That's
Bye, Norman.
bye, Norman. This is amazing. Hey, before we get into this, dude, I want to do this article, but I got to get out of here, Max. Thanks for thanks for having me on, buddy boy.
Oh, dude, no, of course. I'm so sorry you gotta head out, brother. But thank you for
Yeah, I
for
do.
hanging
I'm
out
actually at
with us
work
and,
right now, so yeah, I can only come out. Okay, hey, see you guys later. It's always fun to talk
Frustrated, look
Seinfeld.
busy, and they'll think you're really working. All right, just
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll do. See you later.
Later,
See ya.
brother.
Bye.
That's why we can relate with George. We're literally just scheming our way to even be on YouTube.
That's perfect. Damn, he's got the night shift, eh?
Yeah, he's had the night shift since we've been doing YouTube, so it's been kind of difficult to get him on things. But
yeah,
he's
tough,
able
man.
to, yeah.
So did you guys have? I think I sent y'all these or this article. Do you guys have a favorite George scheme? And we'll go through some of these. But like, is there one that you're just like, this was just fucking perfect, like top George? Or did you guys think that there were any that weren't on here that were like that should have been? Like, yeah, go ahead.
This Scott scheme right here, that's the switch though, or is it this? What's it called? It says the episode name here, but that's when he gets the menage a trois, right?
Yeah. The roommate.
Yeah. Now this is George's perfect plan. It works perfectly for Jerry. It actually works. His plan works. But then when George wants to do it, it also like works, but in the bad way,
in the way that he wants it to. Yeah.
And the whole idea that this whole idea that he's dating someone who has an identical twin to George at her apartment, but then he has all the
sofa, the TV,
everything.
Yeah, he's got everything.
Yeah, I love this one. That just because then at the end he approaches George like, oh really, and he just screams, and then it cuts, or it's like a snapshot photo of him with his mouth open. I love it.
God. Yeah, no, you're right. I think that might be my favorite scheme that George has come up with, simply because of the fact, one, it worked, and two, I love the montage of him and Jerry like at night, and it's got that jazz music, and you can see him like, contemplating and thinking about it, and he finally walks back into the room, and he's like, I got it, and throws the thing down his coat. It's a perfect build up to how they introduce it. Now, the question is though, Don, have you ever, or would you ever use George's scheme if that were to happen? Say you date a girl. I know you're married, but say you date a girl that, has a roommate that is classically beautiful and has all the other attributes that a male might find, interesting. And you want to do the switch. Do you think you'd ever do it?
I think I would pull this because at this point I felt like Jerry didn't want to be with that girl anyways, right? So he had literally nothing to lose. What worst case scenario, they say no and you're off the hook. You're okay, cool, I'm done. I'm just going to leave this situation alone. Best case scenario, they say yes to it. And then the middle case, which is the one you actually want to happen, is the girlfriend says no, the ex-girlfriend says no now, and then tells the roommate, and then it slowly plants a seed in her head. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would do this. This is the best plan. And it's just so funny that somehow even his most perfect plan backfires on George eventually.
I know, right?
Another one that kind of worked. It wasn't really a scheme so much as but when he's eating his dessert with the fork and knife and everyone goes along with it, it's like, excuse me for having class, for eating my dessert, and they go along with it, and like, maybe George is right about this, and it's like that worked. And I think that was one of my favorite ones. He's in the dessert with the fork and knife. You got the whole Yankee organization to go along with them,
and it seems all of New York.
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. The disability one is so funny because they just keep closing him out of his like actual office, and he keeps finding ways back into the through the air ducts and all that stuff. No, it's like that is like, it goes to show. I think there's an episode where Jerry says something to the effect of, George will spend more time looking for excuses to find a way not to have a job than to actually work at a job.
Yeah, it's so good. I mean, there's sometimes it does feel that way though at work. Like, I really don't want to do this. I'm like, I'm doing so much. Like, just fucking do the job. Just do this, then you can leave for the day. Yeah. Love it.
What was the other one that I saw that I thought was Jerk Store? Classic. Classic. Just stuffing his face full of what was it? Shrimp. Yeah. I think the reason why this one for me is so funny is because we've all been in scenarios where someone has said something and you're like, fuck, I don't have anything to say. Yes. Like you're like racking your brain for something. And on your drive home, you're like, I could have said this, you know. But yeah, it's such a bummer when that happens.
This is one of those examples you can use when the timing matters. Like if he said it right away, it would be you're being witty, right? Like like what was the whole line about the shrimp? He's like the ocean's gonna run out of shrimp.
Yeah.
But the whole thing with if he would have said it right away, it would have been okay. But because he waited so long and he's just sat on it, it's not funny. And it's also funny that he brings this up to Jerry, I think, and everybody else, and everyone's like, it's okay. Like the line's not that good.
It's not that good.
Not that good, yeah.
Jerk store's the line. Jerk store.
Jerk store. Jerk store.
So you had sex with his wife. That'll kill him.
Oh yeah. Well, I had sex with your wife. Oh my god. So here's what's so funny too is that have all of you guys watched Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yeah.
It's been a long time, but
I watched the first season of Curb, and there were so many moments in there that I like physically cringed because it was like so awkward. But I don't get that in Seinfeld. And I wonder if it's because Curb is filmed like it's real. Like there's no studio audience or anything. Curb just feels like you're watching just some guy's life.
That and it gets better. The first couple seasons of Curb, I mean, there's with Seinfeld, there's some good nuggets of episodes in there. Some great episodes, but they get better. They really get better as the seasons go along. Like one of my favorite episodes is one of the latter seasons. It's ironically enough during this time, it's the Palestinian chicken episode.
Oh
I love that episode. It's fucking hilarious. Just
which one was that?
So there's this Palestinian chicken restaurant where Larry and his friends, they love going to eat. Larry just guiltily enough, he loves eating it. And like when his Jewish friends are like, "What are you doing? You can't be eating there. We don't want to." Yeah. He falls in love with this Palestinian woman who works there and everything. And just,
oh my god!
Yeah, they're having sex. She's like, "You're an infidel. That's what you are. You're an infidel, aren't you?"
Very topical for today's news, I guess.
Yeah, and this episode ends like they're arguing on either side of the street, that Israelis and Palestinians, and Larry's caught in the middle. And one lady's like, come on, Larry, come over here. You can have me whenever you want. Come on, please.
Oh my god,
that ending scene is so good. Yeah, you have Funkhauser like, Larry, you got to come back over here. It's your people there. And it's so good. But it's not even that they're both yelling. It's Larry's face as he's like weighing both sides. Like, I don't know which one should
I should probably go back and watch maybe like start from season 3 of Curb. Because how many seasons are there?
There's been like 10 seasons, I think.
Oh wow. Yeah. Okay.
But what's funny enough, when that Jay Smooth shows up, he first showed. I had to wonder, like, when did this guy really first show up? It was when the Hurricane Katrina family moved in with him, and he was part of that family, and he was with them since then.
Yep.
He is hysterical on there too. And like I said, there are some really great episodes. You just like with Seinfeld, some of the first ones are rough, but they do get really, really funny after that.
Yeah,
because I remember. Oh, go ahead.
I would say JB Smoove is very Kramer-esque.
Yes.
And the stuff he gets up to. And the Seinfeld reunion season is so good. If you watch anything, that's what you should watch. Just watch the Seinfeld reunion, and that is perfect. Oh, it's so good.
Great.
Because do they come back as their characters, or do they come back as the actors?
Both.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah, they're filming like the final season or whatever, the final episode. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Because I do remember. I mean, this was a while ago, but I remember watching an episode with the pants tent. You know, the like whenever you sit down and the pants kind of make a tent in the crotch, and the woman thinks that he had a freaking going from 6 to noon in the movie theater or whatever. So yeah, that stuff is like, that's totally a Seinfeld episode. but for some reason it feels so much more cringy because you're like watching it in real life and not necessarily on like a broadcast. I don't know, but the part.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, dude. Don't get me started on Curb because there's some golden episodes. Like somehow I think Larry gets starts dating. He like he's like trapped between two girls that are in wheelchairs, right? Like
yes,
like
God.
somehow I don't know why. It's just so funny. The concept of it. It's so good. Yeah, it's really good.
Trapped between two women in wheelchairs.
Well, he's like they're both his side bitches or something like, or he's like leading one on, but he's also like dating her or something. So he's kind of I don't know how you get into a situation like this that both of them are in wheelchairs.
Oh man. You know what other one that I don't think they had on here was the one where George he's trying to go to the funeral of his girlfriend. And he tries to get the death certificate.
No, yeah.
And he can't. And that was also the double dipping episode.
Double dip,
yeah. So that was another scheme that backfired on him. That because he tried to use Kramer was going to use his mileage or get mileage off of it.
Yeah.
But they couldn't get the death certificate. So George just shows her a picture, like a Polaroid. And he's like, not gonna work, eh? She's like, no, sorry.
In the desk, built making his little bunk under the desk. That was another.
Yeah, the nap.
Yeah. That actually, like, for the most part, if it hadn't been for the kids that come into that his office, that actually would have worked. That's a pretty dope little setup. He had a place for magazines, he had a little alarm clock in there,
a cup holder in there. It was awesome.
Yeah,
a blanket, place for a blanket. Yeah,
and that was the same one that the guy was what's his name was doing Jerry's Kitchen, and they remodeled the whole thing.
Conrad, yeah.
Oh yeah, you can call me anything. He's like, Jerry, what do you want? I could give you these bearings or these screws or this thing.
You want 2 holes? You want 3 holes? You want 4 holes? Whatever. Pick one.
Whatever.
There's
just
2 of them
finish
here.
it today.
Drop one. Left.
This kitchen looks awful too. Like I fucking hate that design.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
$4,000 for that. It's like, ugh.
They walk in and like the island, the cupboards are like down to like their waist. So you have to like bend over to like talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's that was a horrible design. So I'm glad they got rid of that. But it was pretty funny how he just completely redid everything.
And I'm on the wrong floor again.
I love when George underneath the desk, he's like, Jerry, you gotta call it a bomb threat. And he's like, who is this? He's like screaming.
Who is this?
He's like, oh, sweet. You demanded a fitted hat day at the stadium. Now I have to organize this shit.
Oh yeah. And I like how George has to like whisper scream.
Yep.
Yes.
Just call.
Yeah. So here's another article that I thought we could finish off with. Now, normally we go for about 2 hours on our streams, but I do want to hopefully within the next 30 minutes, our main man Art Vandelay can hop on. But if Art does not show up, we'll have to. I don't know. Will we have to potentially do this again, O'Brien? If Art doesn't show up?
Oh, definitely, dude. Yeah, there's like we even like scratched the surface. We're just getting all like you could do a whole 2-hour stream on one episode of Seinfeld.
Yeah,
honestly.
Oh yeah.
You could probably do multiple episodes, like multiple 2-hour live streams, just about different seasons, like you said, about just one episode. So this could be like an episodic thing, but we'd have to come up with something that would be fun that people could really get on board with. Now, these first ones I do agree with. So this article is talking about the worst episodes of Seinfeld. A few of these I do agree with. Like this one was just the pilot, and they were saying that Wyatt falls short. Well, I don't know. it says it lacked a lane, and I was like, that's not why it fell short.
Yeah.
It didn't
pacing
help.
was horrifically slow.
She was going to be the waitress that shows up in this episode. It's
really? Okay.
Yeah.
The show should have never attained the promise it achieved from that format remained exactly as it was present in the pilot. So they basically say it was slow. The dog one was
I hate this episode.
awful.
Yeah, even Jerry
Jerry
hates that episode. Jerry Seinfeld hates it. It's his least favorite one too.
The dog barking is so annoying, and you can clearly tell it's just a human man off to the side of the screen just barking.
Well, not just I think it's the fact it's the old. That's the one with the old man that Elaine's dating too, right? Where she's feeding him soup and all that. Isn't that the same one?
Yankee beans. Yankee beans.
Is that this one?
I don't think it's. I thought that was later in the.
Okay, because never mind. That's the one I'm thinking of. That's the one that Jerry hates the most. Jerry does not like
that one either.
Oh,
that's the worst episode they've ever done.
Why does he hate that one? What was that? What was the premise in that one? Do you remember?
It's unfunny to him. It's cringy. He does not like it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, I hated this dog episode, and especially because the old man in this, the guy who actually has the dog, is so annoying. He's like always drunk, and he's always like, prediction. You will call me and Fawful, blah blah, crawling back. Jerry's like, prediction. I will not see you or your stupid dog ever again. Let me ask you guys this. Out of all the characters, because we asked what your favorite character was, who's the character you hate the most? Like for example, I would probably say either Banya. I think Banya is maybe one of the worst. His character is so annoying. Like when he's trying to get Jerry to buy him a meal. It's the soup episode.
Yeah.
Where he's trying to buy him a meal because he gives him the Armani suit. I think maybe because I've known people like that.
Ramon, the pool guy. I fucking hate that guy.
Oh yeah. No, that's true.
Michael Chiklis' character. And he showed up for that one episode. Like he was the guy who's like, "Hey, Jerry, I'm here." He just like a visit. He's like, in 2 or 3. He just shows up. I think it's episode has to be on this list. It is horrible, and I think just he is very out of place on the show and didn't.
Was it? You mean this one?
Yes, I think it's that one. I think it's Mail on Bonding.
Jerry has to like break up with him.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find the episode. What episode that was?
Okay. I have 2. One is the Wiz because it's just so annoying. Go the Wiz later on.
I'm the Wiz, and everybody knows it.
And the whole like every shot is of him, everyone looking at his eyes. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
The other one I hate the most is mostly because I think people interacting with him. The Drake. Everyone, gotta love the Drake. The Drake. I hate the Drake.
Yeah.
You make me hate the Drake. You keep fucking talking about the Drake. I hate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, it was you also hate. The Stranded was the episode that he was on.
Yeah.
The Stranded. Was that the one where they get stuck at the party and Elaine goes, "Maybe the dingo ate your baby"? Yeah.
He brings a prostitute back to his apartment, and it's like,
yeah,
did you have sex in here? Like, what did you do in my apartment? Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that guy was a fucking. Yeah, he was
like, is that a fur coat? And the cop is like, oh god.
Oh yeah, they both go, oh boy, yeah, here we go. I think if it's not for me, I think also. Oh, sorry, Don. I cut you off. What were you saying? I think the last one that you had was.
I said the Drake and the Wiz. I hate both of them.
That's right. The Drake also. I think people hate the Drake too because once they go to his house and they're like, "Hey, how are you?" and he's like, "Yeah, we just broke up," and he cries like a little bitch in front of everyone, and then they're like, "Yeah, we hate the Drake," and he gives all of his shit to her. Like, oh
yeah.
God.
Yeah. No,
Drake sucks.
Beta minds. The only other person I'd say I hate more than any one of the people that we mentioned was Sally, who had the doll. Was the doll episode where she's like, "I got you a different doll because the other doll was ugly or whatever."
Yeah,
I cannot
funnier.
stand her. Kathy Griffin is the worst. So,
yeah, she's bad.
Oh, Elaine's roommate. I forget what her name was, but she showed up for a few episodes. Just
Hi,
Elaine,
Elaine.
you're being
Hi,
evicted.
Elaine.
You're getting kicked out. That's why there's a buzzer.
A buzzer.
That's actually pretty
She's
good.
got the drink and she's got the straw. Like,
Yeah.
What about the girl that is Kramer dating her? The one that is what's it called? Is what am I thinking? Oh, is the heckler for Jerry in the audience?
oh, she's awful
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Was she laughs
it's
really
great.
annoying?
Really great. Really, really great.
Dovie, right?
Yeah. Boo!
What?
Boo! She starts booing.
Yeah, because he goes, and that's why men hunt and women nest. Boo! Boo!
He's like, what the hell are you doing? No, you don't boo. You don't hiss.
You don't boo. And she's like, well, that's how I express myself. Oh god, yeah, she was the fucking worst. And then Kramer says she's got quite the personality, huh? It's like, no, she's awful.
Of course, she's deranged.
Yeah. And then Elaine says that she acts like she's a Price is Right contestant.
Yeah.
She's just always like, oh. Yeah. 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 No, that's such a good. Thank you for bringing that one up because I forgot how awfully annoying she was.
Yeah.
I know there's got to be one other. I thought there was one other guy that was really annoying. Oh, it was the other comedian. It's not Banya, but it's the other comedian who's like, Jerry, can I leave my coat in your closet for a month? He's like,
Nostrils.
no,
Yeah.
Nostrils.
the nostril. And he
The
goes,
prop comic?
Jerry, yeah, is he the prop comic?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a prop comic.
Oh.
No, I thought, because you had the guy who's got the gun, and he's like, stick him up, and
That's
George
that's
thinks
prop
that.
yeah.
But no, he's fine. It's
Right,
the
same guy.
other comedian who gets in a cab with Jerry, and
I think it's is it the same
I
guy?
thought it's the same guy.
no, there's no way.
Really?
I'm gonna find this. Here.
All right, we gotta give it a
We got to
good.
do some creative journalistic investigation.
While you're investigating, I thought of some George moments that I really like. That I don't know if you call them schemes, but do you remember when George has to, for his book club, read Breakfast at Tiffany's, but he wants to rent it instead, but they're all out, and then he goes up to that family's house. He's like, "You're the last people to rent it," and then when he goes there, he's like, "You guys have any popcorn or something?" It's so fun. And then he goes back to the same.
That's right.
He goes back.
Yeah.
I also like when he
was-
tries to get fired from the Yankees and he can't get fired.
Oh, so yeah.
Bodysuit
Wait,
man. Bodysuit man.
Was that one of the ones where later in the seasons he calls his boss Sugar Ray Leonard, and he's like, and he tries to show his boss that he's like super diverse and like inclusive. So he goes back to the family's house, and he's like,
yes,
the dad is like, tells his daughter, he's like, get upstairs now, honey, don't interact with them.
Well, Jerry makes a good point to George. He's like, because George is like, yeah, I'll just have to show my black friends. And Jerry goes, you don't have black friends. Also, you don't have any white friends other than me. So
That's right. That's right. Oh shit!
Yeah, we all look the same to you, don't we, Costanza?
so
Yeah.
So great.
And then at the end, the waiter is like, "Hey, and it's on the house for Sugar Ray."
Yeah,
You know,
we're gonna hear Eddie.
gets all excited. Wait, come back. We used to call him the exterminator in high school because.
I also love when like George isn't getting like he's not being chosen for something, because like the whole is it Sunray or Sunshine carpet cleaner cult thing, right? And he's just he cannot get past the fact that they don't want to bring him into the cult, even though they brought in Wilhelm. And he's just like, what's wrong with me? My name is what's his name? What at the end? Will
Tanya.
Tanya. My name is Tanya.
Most of the world is carpeted, and one day we will do the cleaning.
And we will do the cleaning. It's kind of like the episode with the communist where they're like going through the pamphlet You know, and they're reading all the Communist Manifesto propaganda stuff.
Guys,
man,
commie.
Yeah, commie, traitor to our country. Now, if you did that in an episode, people would be like, "Oh, this is awful." But like back then, it was like, "Yeah, he's a fucking communist." Like that's awful.
Yeah.
I cannot find this guy for the life of me.
Same guy.
Nope.
You just got to live with it.
I mean, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say Seinfeld prop comic. Ronnie K.
Ronnie K, the prop comic. Yep.
So this is not who I'm talking about. But this is the prop comic. This guy.
Yep.
Ronnie K, comedian and friend of Jerry Seinfeld. So this isn't him. There's another comedian. Oh, here we go. Maybe he's not on here. Kenny Banya. Here we go. This guy.
Oh,
Pat
guy.
Buckles.
Oh yeah, he shared the cab with him in that episode. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Remember this guy where Jerry is in the cab with him and he's like, Jerry, I love this banter, you know, we've got going on. And Jerry's like, there's no banter. This isn't we're not bantering. You're talking and I'm ignoring. So this guy just got on my nerves.
Call me when you get home so I know you got home safe.
Yes, yeah, that's the same. That's the same guy. Yeah. Jerry, is it too much for me to ask if I can keep my coat in your closet just for a few months? Yeah. And it's like such a ridiculous concept. It's so funny. Yeah. Buckles doesn't like fish, wants Jerry to keep his coat in his closet for a few months for some reason. I love the internet is fantastic. I love that we can have a wiki sign. That's great. But yeah, no, I think Banya and this guy are probably the worst. For me at least. And then the woman, Sally Weaver is a nightmare.
Yep.
What was the other one that you were talking about, Dawn? You said the carpet one.
Oh, you're talking about George things that was happening? I did.
And then the Breakfast at Tiffany's one. That was right.
Breakfast at Tiffany's. The other one, I love this one where George wants to get his parents to walk in on him with his cousin in the van, and then it ends up being the reverse. He walks out on his parents. It's such a funny reversal.
And then what was Jerry's friend who like would go out to the woods and dig a hole?
Oh, it's Summer. It's Summer friend, right?
Yeah. Summer me.
Yeah. The winter.
Yeah, Frankie. You got fragile Frankie Merman.
Frankie Merman. How you remember that name, Dr. Van Nostrand, is incredible.
I have so little in my life.
This is your hobby. This is what you choose to fill your brain with. Yeah. So this was another one that the article said that was a shit episode. Apparently, the Puerto Rico Day.
No,
but not what you would think, because it's like, oh, it's dull. But they say that it's incredibly racially offensive. No. And I'm like, NBC even apologized for airing it, and I was like, I don't remember a single thing that was racially insensitive.
I don't think I remember really any Puerto Rican jokes aside the flag at the end
when it's on fire.
The flag at the very end.
Oh, that's
it.
Yeah, but then they turn on him. They have the gay couple like, who is burning the flag?
Yeah, he gets it. It's like, okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, also in that episode, I love that bit where George goes to the a Hindenburg whatever movie. He's like, that's gotta hurt.
That's a laser pointer guy. That's really insane. Yeah.
It's like it's a whole prop comic thing when it comes to it. It's so fun.
Yeah, that one's pretty funny because the people in the audience are just eating it up, and they're like, "Look, he's putting it on his crotch or whatever," and he just keeps circling. And then it's on George's head at the end, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my god. This was another one that they said the Mackinac. No, or sorry, not the Mackinac peaches, the mango. However, the Mackinac Peaches are another good one.
That wasn't a bad episode. That was a good one.
I like this one.
They said it isn't a beloved episode, mostly due to the fact that a lot of people who watched it were offended. Of course, again, while the episode aimed to tackle racy issues like orgasms, libido, and the like, the plot was both stale and unoriginal. And I was like, oh my god!
At the time, no, that was not an original. At the time, that was very taboo back then.
So people were offended by that. Oh, I don't understand the offense. Who was it offending?
Right? Yeah, like what group of people? About? Yeah. And then here's another one that people were like, "Oh, of course!" Like this article was clearly probably written within the past 5 years. But the gum, they said the problem with the gum is that it focuses entirely too much attention on Elaine's breasts.
How horrible that must be!
Oh my god! God forbid we focus on that. They say, sure, it's funny for a cheap laugh here and there, but it was overused and abused too many times in the episode.
What?
And it's like, Elaine is like literally never over sexualized from in the entire 9 seasons.
Yeah,
she has one episode with Russell Dalrymple at the this episode. That's like the only time we might see her cleavage. But this one, they said that the Chinese woman with Donna Chang, they said that the episode plays on stereotypes and a little light racism.
That's the joke. That's the joke.
There's even a discussion about it in the show where Elaine asked if Jerry's interest in a woman based on her perceived race was racism, and he replied that it couldn't be if he likes the race.
Yeah,
I know exactly.
There it is.
Right. But apparently this article thinks that's cutting it pretty close to the edge, and overall the episode simply hasn't aged well. And it's like, no, it's aged hilariously.
Yeah.
If I like their race, that doesn't make me racist.
There's a reason why we're going to be remembering this episode even 20 years from now more so than the person who wrote this fucking article.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and these are the same people that are like, The Office couldn't be made today. Meanwhile, it's on a loop at my house, and I love it. I love The Office. It's like, you're talking out both sides of your fucking mouth, retard.
Yep.
Yeah. Holy shit.
It's too offensive now.
But I love it. I love it.
But it's literally the only thing I watch. I didn't actually read that article, but I recently rewatched probably season 1 through, I don't know, 8 or 9 of The Office. Right about to like right after or right when Michael leaves is when I normally stop. Everything after that is garbage, but like right when Michael leaves, it's pretty good up until then. Mm-hmm. But there were some like Todd Packer, when Todd Packer comes in and he's like talking about, oh yeah, and this bitch blew the whole thing just because she could suck some dick or something. I was like, oh wow, all right. So there are, some jokes in there that are a little bit more heavy-handed, but that's the funny absurdity of it, right?
Little segue about The Office. So there's an episode of The Office where I guess someone was gifted or whatever during Christmas or a Christmas party a painting of the
babies, right?
Yes,
the babies playing jazz. Yeah.
No, it's like some type of like porno painting someone's gifted. It's an illustrated, but it's blurred out on the screen. You can't see what it is. It's someone. But apparently Tone Rodriguez, who's a famous comic book illustrator, he worked on Stray Dogs with Trish Forstner. He worked on the Simpsons comics for the longest time. He drew that for The Office.
No way.
Yeah.
Man, I'll have to go back and rewatch it because I don't remember.
It's like some pornographic painting someone was gifted. Like, I'm not sure if it was like like some type of hentai thing or whatever. Someone's sent or
maybe.
But he drew it.
Damn, I gotta rewatch it then and see which one that was. Because I remember that Angela has like a fascination with like these posters of babies playing jazz instruments.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about right away too.
Yeah. And Oscar is like, he goes, this is so much more offensive to me than hardcore gay porno. But what were we going to say, Don?
Something you're saying about Todd Packer. Todd Packer's not a good guy. He's not supposed to be like that's the protagonist saying all these horrific things. Todd Packer's a douchebag. Everyone hates Todd Packer. And that's the same thing with like Seinfeld. you're not supposed to look at George and go like, yo, that's the guy I want to be, the schemer, the slow-witted bald guy, that never gets his way and is just constantly just always looking for the next scheme. You don't want to be that guy. And it's just like Always Sunny too. They're just shitty people. And that's why they're endearing, because they're like horrific people. Even Jerry by the end is a bad guy.
Oh yeah. These are, I think Seinfeld started it, but It's Always Sunny took it to the extreme, like where they're doing blackface and they're like, they're doing some pretty wild stuff that would get you canceled on television today.
Yes.
Which is almost why Always Sunny is probably my second favorite show of all time, because it is so absurd and because the people are so awful, you laugh at how terrible they are, because we as human beings see that what they're doing is terrible. Like, we're not supposed to like these individuals. We like the absurdity of how they take everything to the next level,
Right.
Yep. We would never want to, like you said, we never want to be this character. Because George is your spirit animal.
Oh, dude. Well,
yeah.
Inadvertently, I've resulted.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there are
by
times where I'm
choice.
like, I can kind of see myself going into that.
Right. Yeah. Hey, I would call China to get some hair cream, but
Why not?
like in this episode. But this one, this is another one that this article is just completely wrong about. This is actually a funny episode, and this was one of the first times that I really saw Elaine like as someone who is, like she could actually be pretty sexy.
Mm-hmm.
But the episode says why it falls short is that the main problem is how it ended. The men all lacariously, is that how you pronounce that word?
Mm-hmm.
Stare at Elaine like she's a giant chicken leg from some Looney Tunes cartoon from the 60s. It went against the normal tone of the series, which set the characters' platonic friendship. Sans romantic interest relationship is the main point of the series. Going against it was a strange choice. It ruined what might have been otherwise a great episode. And it's like, no, the reason why these guys are drooling over her is because she did something out of character. They've never heard her say these things. And so when they do, that's why they're so enamored with her.
Right. And any guy would act like that if they're like, God damn, this chick sounds hot. Like, what did she say? It's like,
listening to Jerry's tape recorder.
Like, oh, it's her? It's like, damn, okay. Like,
it would completely, If I were friends with a girl and, we had just been friends, everything was platonic. Like I saw her as a sister or whatever. And then she starts talking like that. I'd seriously reconsider, because you're like, oh my God, this is some serious, because I think even in the episode, Jerry is like, I've never heard a woman speak this dirty in my life.
Yeah.
She's
depraved. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to, what does she say? I want to slide my tongue around you like a snake.
Yeah.
Ooh, here's one that, of course, this article had to talk about this.
Yeah.
Why it falls short. It may have won a GLAAD Media Award in '93, but this episode is perfect example of one that hasn't aged well. It's aged hilariously well.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect. While jokes about being gay may have been considered funny in the 1990s, most people are offended by them today.
Most people.
Most people. You mean you?
You.
Who's writing the article?
And my friends.
Yes. The insinuation that being gay was somehow wrong, despite always decrying that there, I think what she's trying to say is declaring that there wasn't anything wrong with it, tends to fall on deaf ears today. Which, by the way, there were actually plenty of gay characters in the show, like the guy who's the wig master for the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Super gay. No one mentions a thing about it. So.
Yeah, Jerry pretends to be gay at that point.
Yeah, he does. He's like
champagne coolies.
Yeah,
very emasculating.
Yeah. Why did you not assume that we were together?
Right.
The guy's like, I don't know, I just didn't. But, the funny thing is that actor who asks what's his name out on a date, he plays. What's his name? Stuart in Mad TV.
He was in Mad TV,
I
right?
love Mad TV. It's way better than SNL.
And he was in Halloween Kills.
He was in Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
Evil Dies Tonight.
Evil Dies Tonight. Evil Dies Tonight.
Evil Dies Tonight.
We got a comment by Nosferatu. I think YouTube blocked it, but Nosferatu says.
I just want to say MVP is too good for Don. Fuck, he sucks.
Totally agree. I don't know why he lets me on here. No.
You know, what's funny is, Don, I think this was your idea, because I think we had... Now, Kyle and Drew and I had always mentioned Seinfeld in our comic book streams, but you, Don, I think you and I, after one of our streams, had legitimately said, like, we should do a live stream about this. It was one of these nights. So, I mean... Nosferatu, as much as you might hate him, I had to have Don on here. He's my wingman. He was the original George coming up with the scheme to start the live stream. So,
well, it's because anytime you start a conversation with Seinfeld, George, Kramer, whatever, you start just thinking about other things. There's just branch off. Like, okay, well, I can't just leave it there. There's this other funny thing with George, and I don't know. You really want to talk about it. And yeah, I mean, just even scratching the surface like we did tonight, you just saw how much fun there is to be had just reminiscing on Seinfeld. Is so fucking good. And I don't know what other comedy. I don't want to be one of those guys like, there's never any comedies, but I mean, Seinfeld's one of the goats. You know, I don't know what really stands close to it when it comes to comedy sitcoms. And it's the only legit like laugh track comedies that I'll belly laugh to. Like there are a lot of other ones that'll have a laugh track. I'm like, all right, I get it. It's supposed to be funny here. But this one, I'll like, I'm laughing harder than the people in the audience are.
Still.
Still to this day. And even, that's such a great point. Even after watching these episodes like 5, 6, 7 times over, you know the line that's about to come up next and you still laugh.
Yeah.
It's
funny. Yeah. And I was just talking to my family about this. It's like, when the series finale aired, they aired it in Times Square for everyone to stop and watch it.
Holy shit.
What other phenomena, what other show, one, would do that, and two, it's like, how could you do that now? Like, what?
I didn't know that.
What would get people to stop? It's like, we have wars going on and no one gives a shit. And it's just like, what would get people to be like, we got to air this on Times Square for everyone to watch?
Yeah.
The only thing I could think of is like Game of Thrones at its height had some of the most hype of people watching that show.
Yeah.
Don, I know that you're a big Game of Thrones guy, but like I never got into it, but my entire company of Marines was watching that show. Like Sunday night, it aired Sunday nights, right?
Yep, Sunday nights, yeah.
Sunday night.
And like I'd be like, hey guys, you want to go do something? And they'd be like, fuck you, we're watching Game of Thrones. Like everyone watched that show in my company. I ended up doing something else on Sunday nights because like there was not one Marine who wasn't watching it. So something like that, even that wouldn't be able to be played in Times Square. So that's pretty cool though, that the fact that they aired that final episode there. But yes, Josh, Michael McDonald. I think that's not the Michael McDonald. It's like, it came from somewhere.
I'm gonna be there.
Yeah. And then Josh also says, so Don, what do you think about Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld having conversations about bringing the show back? Oh, Josh, you talked about this on one of our shows.
Did you see this? Did you see this, Max?
I have not looked into this because I'm already just saying fuck no.
There was a recording of Jerry on stage.
Yep.
I remember him saying something that's like, hey, me and Larry are in talks that something might be coming back. Yep. And I don't think it'll be good. It doesn't ruin it for me, even if they did bring it back. I'll just say it ran for like 2 or 3 seasons. It doesn't ruin the original series for me. I just don't want it to, but yeah, whatever. I mean, even later seasons of Curb, I mean, you guys have seen it. Something, not Max, but it starts to fade a little bit. It's not nearly doesn't have the bite as it used to. It's unfortunate. Same with Always Sunny. It's like, come on, guys.
Yeah, Always Sunny. Thankfully, they've Always Sunny is one of those ones that even like into season 12, I was like, this is still really funny. But now the ones that they've been coming out with in like the 2020s era, they haven't been great. They've commented a little bit about the whole like political correctness, SJW, culture war stuff, political talking points. They've hit a couple of those, but for the most part, their old stuff, like they go hard in that first season. D dates a retard. It's like the first episode. I mean, come on, like they do not pull their punches. It's great. So, but yeah, so Dawn, I think overall though, you said you wouldn't be necessarily mad if it came back, or it wouldn't ruin the original show, but it's not something you really want.
Yeah, there's so many people you'll hear they'll bring back a series or make a sequel or reboot, and they're like, "You're ruining my childhood by bringing it." Like Frasier's coming back, right?
It is awful.
Yeah, I don't expect. I don't even watch Frasier, but I know it's just coming back, and I mean, I'd like, even if it is really bad, like it still doesn't ruin the greatness of the first ones, at least for me. So
yeah.
I agree. I watched the first episode of this new Frasier was on free on YouTube. I was like, I just want to see. It is fucking dog shit. It is beyond. It is almost unwatchable. I love Frasier. I love watching that show. I watched it all the time. It's great, and I just, what it is now, it's an abomination. But you can separate them. There's so much gap. So whatever Seinfeld does now, it's like it doesn't hold a candle to anything, and it's completely separated. That's its own thing. I will always love Seinfeld no matter what they do. So,
yeah, that's fair. I think for me, like you look at something like Rings of Power that comes out 20 years after the original trilogy. And I guess that was the same thing with really Star Wars, like coming out in the 70s, right? And then 30 years later, you get the prequel series. But like, I don't know. I watched Rings of Power, and there was at a point I was like, this is actually going to probably most likely hinder my enjoyment of the original three. So I'm gonna nope out. I'm not gonna do this anymore. So I think there are some things where I can separate the two, but when it's something that has like those characters come back, or you start getting into like the inner workings of like the old stuff, it really can mess it up, at least for me, to where I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch this. So well, I think that about does it for us this evening. Thank you guys so much for hanging. Seriously, this was so fun. My cheeks hurt, and I won't tell you which ones, as the ass man. My face or but no, this was seriously so much fun. Had a blast laughing and smiling. I'm super bummed that Art Vandelay was not able to make it tonight. Late. 2 hours late, so we'll have to get him back on though. That means that we will come back eventually. We'll have to do this again, right? So
phooey.
Bummer.
I like to do it. I'd like to do it again. And an idea me and Gator had when we started our channel, we've kind of erased those videos because they're really old. But one thing we did for the Spider-Man, because when No Way Home was coming out, we're like, hey, how about we fan cast Seinfeld characters as Spider-Man villains? And we were like going through scenarios, and one of them was, of course, George is Doc Ock, and we envisioned the scene when he gets the tentacles like hooked up to his back, that he does the whole "it moved" thing, like he like sits up. I don't know. I want that to be like a scene now, but yeah, or somehow like how could you bring these characters in? We thought it'd be funny to have Jason Alexander as Uncle Ben, because Marissa Tomei would have been funny too. But yeah. There's so much potential. You can just weave Seinfeld in if you just have a little creativity. You can literally be about anything.
We'll have to talk. I think we could do a segment about that, and then we could potentially do a segment on just one. Like we'll choose one season. We'll probably do like season 6, and we can run through each episode and run through like our favorite parts of each one or something.
Yeah,
maybe
that sounds fun. Yeah.
So, because I think season 6 is a safe bet to say that it's I think Dr. Martin Van Nostrand, it's his favorite. I think season 6 is right after, like it's like on an upward slope, and it probably peaks there maybe. So we'll see. But I got to go back and look at all the episodes. But before we dip out, do you guys have anything that you want anything to plug, or anything to just like reminisce on or talk about before we all dip out of here?
Not me.
I'll go last.
Oh, okay. I'll say real quick, thanks for having me on. This was a lot of fun. I love talking about Seinfeld. I'm currently still going to college right now, even though I'm like almost 30. But there's no one that really talks Seinfeld with, all these youngsters, all these Gen Zers, to know the grace and the beauty of George Costanza. So love any moment talking with it and talking with you guys. I think this is the first time we've streamed together. So it's great to be with you guys. And thanks again for having me on, Max.
Dude, oh my gosh, no, of course. Like I said, you were my wingman on this, so I'm super thankful that you were able to make get some time on a Sunday evening for this, and it just made it better that my two co-hosts for our other comic show, like Kyle and Drew, they were talking Seinfeld, and I was like, holy shit, we have to get the gang together, because like it just so happens that two of our different friend groups like have this similar interest, and we were like, okay, we have to do this
unhealthy obsession with Seinfeld.
Unhealthy obsession.
Yeah, men who can barely run their lives.
We would literally how we would describe our review for some of the comics would be what Jerry would say. We'd be like, well, that's a shame, or something like that. Just little things where Seinfeld would always pop into the live stream, no matter what we were talking about. So, but no, thanks again for being on, and thank you for the thumbnail. So you chat and everyone watching, you guys can thank Don for the thumbnail, and you can also thank him and IJP Mexican for the intro for this. It'll also probably be our outro as well, because I gotta listen to that one more time.
So good.
It's so damn good. And then Drew, is there anything you want to say before you dip out?
Yeah, if anyone's out there, if you're into comics, you're watching, you like Seinfeld, check out Sign Up Now on Kickstarter for Unholy Nightmare #1. We launch Halloween night. We're at 102 signups right now for when we launch. So
so we did make it to 100. Good.
Yes,
good.
We did. We're at 102 now. So yeah, I would love to get more. Thank you if you're watching. If you signed up, I thank you. Aurelio and I thank you. You're not going to want to miss out on this. I sent you guys a new page earlier today in the group chat.
Ooh, that's right.
Yeah, it looks amazing. Aurelio is that's gonna be one of the pages we're gonna put up, I think, for sale and on the Kickstarter for OA. So yeah, don't want to miss out, guys.
Sweet, man. No, that's gonna be badass. And if you guys go to our last live stream, you can check out the link there that is posted in the description and the pinned comment, so that you guys can check out his Drew's comic, sign up for that, so that once it launches, you guys will know about it. And that should be it. We'll go ahead and dip out of here, my schmoopies. Thank you all for being here this evening. I know this is a bit of a departure from our normal content over here on Max's Man Cave, but like, this is something that, God, Don, we've been talking about this for maybe like 2 months now.
Yeah, if it's been maybe more.
Yeah, no, you're right. This has been a passion project in the making, and hopefully we can do it again soon and get Art Vandelay in here as well. So here are a couple of clips that I didn't get to play. I was going to play these if we got any super chats or anything, but here's one.
Hands up!
The face he makes every time gets me. Every time. Heads up. And this is just this is a great way to end the show right here.
Here's to feeling good all the time.
If you've ever tried to do that, drink and smoke at the same time, it's tough. It sucks.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Cheers to you guys. Thank you again for being here. Here's to feeling good all the time. And we'll see y'all next week. Take care, guys.
Get up, cocksuckers. It's all over. Listen, we had a rough couple of months. Fucking Katrina's cousin Maria, the other one, Puerto Rico, Houston, fucking Florida. Listen, it's been tough up to now. The earthquake in Mexico, the White House, whoever the fuck is going on. But it don't matter. They want to shoot, it's time for us to fucking shoot, cocksuckers. They want to get down and dirty, don't forget who the fuck we are, you understand me? We're the baddest motherfuckers out there. You send a message to that fucking North Korean, he's gonna be sniffing my dick and sucking my asshole. That's the focus. We're going to North Korea in like a year. It's gonna be an island. It's gonna glow in the dark. You know why? Because we're Americans, cocksuckers. Who the fuck do you think you're dealing with? Stop with the gun control. They're selling more guns than ever the last 3 days. Stop with the fucking whining. Stop with the Russians on Facebook. I don't give a fuck. Worry about yourself. Keep your eyes open and get the fuck off Snapchat and fucking Twitter, cocksucker. Stay black.